will be coming on today. Say your own, I say my own. No man cause, no part cause. Because Chief Justice Gbese is watching. But you'll say your own, I'll say my own. Because Chief Justice Gbese said, so long you cause my empire, you good. So we're not causing my empire, yeah? Chief Justice Gbese is watching Spoon Talk 24/7. If anybody says when you cause anybody mad, 6 months in jail. So we're not causing my empire.
Yeah,
we were holding government accountable.
We are well protected here.
Yes, we discussed the issue. The decision of President Bwaka to remove Yeke as representative. Don't say that Rachel Kuhn, don't say that Thomas Farah, it came from President Bwaka. He wanted the president, the position. Yes, indeed, they gave it to him. And that decision to remove Yeke today, going down in history. We'll be speaking to Yeke, ladies and gentlemen. Again, no man cause, no power cause. And you cause my empire will block you. I will complain you to Chief Justice. What's the name? Gbese, right? Gbese? Yeah. I will call the paper and complain you. You cause anybody my empire will block you and will complain you. No man cause, no power cause. But we discuss the issue. See Yeke today in one side. See the momentum. Then afterward, they're about to carry Yeke for full persecution. To charge him. Hey, but people, when we going out with they want, what kind of vindictiveness is that? What's on your mind? And then let me give it to you. I want to welcome all of you again. I'm sorry that Richardson, Wilfred Bangura is coming on again. Nelson, please get him ready. He's coming on. He's a regular panelist on Spoon Talk now. Wilfred Bangura. He's regular, Fubi. The man will be regular on Spoon Talk. Wilfred Bangura, the former Secretary General of CMC. Yesterday, the man appeared that Richardson disappeared. Jacob Jara disappeared. They're always running from him. I'm like, what's going on?
It's sentence.
The man appeared, you're running away from him. Wilfred Bangura, come on. The man said, all the promises you made. All the promises you made, you didn't keep them. You obeyed breach in Bon County. That was Vlad. You obeyed breach in McGibby Hospital. That was Vlad. You go way to Bomi. That was Vlad. The man said, you got on the record, you got on the paper. You just flash. Like this one. CZ. You just flash the people. What was that doing this? Why are you flashing? And listen, I will say this again. You didn't believe me. The party chairman is about to join MDRA again. Your party chairman is out. You know that? But we're talking about it. Again, you can come on. Pro-Pans rule change. Pro-Pans rule change. Pro-Pans rule change. His Excellency, Yakba Kolba is in the house. Pro-Pans rule change. Shout out from my people. Let's make progress. You were here today. Richard Kuhn didn't remove Yeke Kolba. Thomas Fala, my friend, he didn't remove Yeke Kolba. Yeke Kolba was removed by Joseph Yuma Bwaka, the president of the Republic of Liberia. No, he was. Yeah. I would say my sources and allegations, whatever way you will put it, right? We are on a podcast, right? We're not causing my cause or part cause. He is the president. We got to say this thing about him. We're not insulting him. But I can tell that I bring people from my sources. Of course, they were not from my sources. From our sources, we heard and we learned that Yeke Kolba was removed by Joseph Yuma Bwaka, and Yeke is here to say it. But what did Yeke do to Joseph Yuma Bwaka, the president of the Republic of Liberia? What did he do? Do we still have the Guineans at the border today? Do we still have the Guineans at the border? Oh, you're going to say, well, we will shut down Spoon Talk because you talk about the border. Be my guest. Do we still have Guineans at the border? Quickly. Did they leave? But what about Kula Fofana? Will the president fire Kula Fofana? Is she protected on a certain code that we don't know about? Ladies and gentlemen, let me be serious here, man. This is Liberia we're talking about. How many more seconds I get? Oh, I got 2 more seconds. That Richardson, sorry, we'll talk about Don Terry later. I'm in Zico tonight. So, Bob Barnes will change. You think you're going to break Yeke? You think you're going to frustrate Yeke? You wasn't even paying Yeke. The man was surviving. Yeah. You wasn't giving the man the benefit for the district he was surviving. Now the game plan is that Yeke will not run again. Not only that is expiring, they're saying that he shouldn't run again. We are receiving information from our sources that Yeke will be arrested and be charged. I don't want to go into the show, my friend. I welcome everybody. Bob Barnes, rule change. We'll follow the process. We'll bring you Yeke Yawa, we'll call it back. Dr. Richardson, Emmanuel George, Kefiko Atme Hassan. We want to welcome all of you to the show today. And guys, like I said, right? First come, first serve. If anybody come late, they come late. I ain't going to remove anybody. My mouse is not working. We got to discuss the issue. It's a very serious issue. All the people that threatened George Manawia, the former president, DeLong, these guys, President Weah will focus. He kept his eyes on the prize. Those folks around here were making a mistake. There was no one political prisoner, no one, that he charged for treason because they said it was stolen his car, because it cost a mine, it cost a power. No. Today, that the day we say yes, we can expel Yeke. And we'll arrest Yeke. And we'll prosecute Yeke. And we'll frustrate Yeke. And Yeke will come bend down, back in, and say, Master Joseph Yimabwanga, Master speak that 7-year. Master speak that 7-year. Like I said, I want to do it. But I wish you to let me
really easy.
Because Wilfred Bangura is coming, please. Trouble not. He coming to
really easy. He play fun out of this whole thing here. Why it is so serious?
Whether you like it or not, Bangura is coming on the show. He come to tell you, get used to it. The message is not with your anymore. Musa Belete can pay him. Musa Belete made promises to build bridges in school. He cannot live. It been almost 9 months. Some Musa made a promise. No one shovel have gotten into the hole. But anyway, we'll leave that for tomorrow. I just say my own. That means my people are in Zigo today. Our country is a sad day for our country. It's a sad day for the government we fought for to be serious. It's a very sad day, whatever you are. I hope somebody listening. If you choose not to listen, the child that say he can't sleep, the man will not sleep. If you choose not to listen, my friend, guess what happened? We got 2.5 years coming. President Baga said he doesn't care. But hey, God, 2029 coming. Dr. Richard said, let's hear you.
So wow.
Yeah, I actually want to say hi to all of those who are listening to us in Liberia and in on social media. I also want to tell my fellow panelists, thank you for joining us. It's wonderful working with all of you, and I understand what it is to take out your precious time to be here to speak to the Liberian people. I first want to start off. I know there's many things we have to talk about today, including Honorable former Representative or Representative Kolba expulsion today. But I actually want to begin by addressing what happened yesterday. I want to welcome Wilfred Bangura to the show. Nobody's afraid whether he comes on or not. Liberians will probably testify that on Wednesday I don't usually come on. I have a class to teach. That's number one. And number two, almost everything that Wilfred Bangura said yesterday about the CMC making promises that they don't keep, it's a lie. A blatant, not in Ellen Johnson blatant, a blatant lie. Okay? All right?
First of all, because we are Mr. Yeke Kolba
participating in different
at
projects.
the end of the day,
CMC is participating in different projects around the country to relieve the suffering of Liberians. All right? It is not the responsibility of CMC to provide jobs for people or to build rules, but we do this because we love the Liberian people. We're tired of seeing the political party or the government doing the same thing over and over and over again. But I want to speak directly to the Liberian people this time around. Mr. Bangura came here and he served as the Secretary General for the CMC. I want you Liberians, when you get involved in the organization.
But we have a Mr. Bangura talk. Can you just tell us what's on your mind? Dr. Richardson, can I give you 2 minutes of talk?
No, you started the whole thing. You said that you.
Dr. Richardson, what I'm saying to you, we're talking about Wilfred. He's going to come on.
Are you going to tell me I will talk about Wilfred now?
Just 30 seconds briefly. You just got to give us your topic and we'll move on.
I am doing that.
But it passed 30 seconds.
It didn't pass 30 seconds. Okay. So I was speaking about Wilfred Bangura. You brought the subject up. So I'm just continuing the subject. And then we're going to move on to Yeke. So Mr. Bangura said everything that was completely false about the CMC yesterday. As speaking directly to the Liberian, as a Liberian, I want you guys to be involved in organizations and institutions that you participate in. Make sure you have documentation. Make sure you, when people ask you tomorrow, you won't say, oh, you know, all the indictment happening at Commerce Ministry. Well, I don't know. I wasn't involved. Do we have documentation? Did you get up and say anything? Did you verbalize that there was corruption going on? Did you speak against it? Or did you speak for it? If you're in a political party and you see that we are making promises that we are breaking, don't you go to our political leader or go to a general meeting where they discuss these things and say it, have documentation that you said it. But no, you come out and you say these things. You didn't even just say it to the political leader. So, I mean, I know we'll have more time to speak about this, but I just want to say whatever he said yesterday about CMC not fulfilling the promises is a blatant lie. And I want him to come on this show and tell me, let him bring his documentation of the days that he went to the general meeting and discuss that he disagreed with whatever the political leader was engaged in.
That's the topic for tonight. Thank you very much, Dr. Francine Chinwe Richardson. Special your name is. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Yeke, welcome to the show. Let's hear we know what's on your mind. We know it will be electrifying. It's good to have you on. Let's hear you, my friend. 30 seconds, sir.
Thank you, Stanton. It is good being on your show tonight, and we look forward to a good show. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Yeke Koduba. CMC Jacob Jala, let's hear you, my friend.
Yes, Stanton, of course, a great injustice happened on Capitol Hill today with what we saw around the quote-unquote expulsion of Representative Yeke Koduba. But I would elbow that issue one side for the moment. We'll take some time to come to it. But just to spend at least the last few seconds of my time, I had the time yesterday to listen to Mr. Bangura, definitely. But of course, there were, I would say, a lot of things said that were categorically false. Again, we'll have some time to go into the detail of it. But just on the face of it, it's clear he basically talked about two different projects. There are clear-cut evidence today that those projects are currently ongoing. The Jaw River Bridge and the model school in Majibe County will have evidence to that effect. So I think Mr. Bangura information provider was profoundly false, and I think it's good, you know, to trade in truth. And we're here today to go into some of the details. And of course, point out some of the contradictions in Bangura. Basically, you talk about unkept promises. And then, of course, you join the Unity Party. You look at the evidence. Nemo say only was 0.8% of Unity Party projects in year one was completed. I mean, so that was a great deal of promises that were unkept. So if the CMC didn't keep promises, which definitely is not true, and you swing to a party or swung to a party that is not keeping promises, then that's a huge contradiction down there. But again, we'll have some time to go into.
We will have some serious time on Bangura. Bangura is yet to stay. He's not a guest. He's not coming in on part-time. He's here to stay. He will talk for himself. I missed him yesterday. But two important conversations today, the Honorable Yeke Koduba and the addition of Bangura on this show. We want to know more about him and his activities. Yes, indeed, we are here with Toki. I want to say welcome to the show, Kefiko Abdel Hassan. 30 seconds real quick. What's on your mind?
Stanton, thank you. Let me say hi to everybody. Jacob Jala, let me say this to you, my brother. By your introduction and attacking Wilfred and leaving Yeke, which is a trendy and a serious issue, tells me that we, the opposition, don't have our priorities together. This is a freaking nonsense. We have Honorable Yeke Koduba that stood up against his government that he brought to power, and your priority is Wilfred Bangura?
No, it's not
talk about our own. That means that we opposition, we're not serious.
But you must say that you're the same party, so what you on? You in CDC and
opposition together. Man, let me finish my own.
No, we're not going to meeting together. You must compare notes.
No, seriously, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Because what you said, it was complete joke. Because Wilfred decided to go to party he won, that his prerogative, let him do what he want to do. That should not be your concern. Your concern should be the rule, our law, our moral fabric is being destroyed by this government. We have Honorable Yeke Koluba on the show, who is right as a citizen of our nation, who went against my government. We gave him his right. If Yeke don't have a right, you will not have a right. That you coming to Mr. Bangura, this is pure nonsense. And I will
Cap, again, thank you very much. Let's just watch what we say. You cannot be too emotional. You cannot be too emotional. He got a right to speak to what he want to speak to, Cap. He got right to, everybody have right to speak to what they want to speak to. You cannot be emotional, my man. Watch what you say. You're talking on your own. I'm muting you. Fubi, let's go ahead. Let's hear you, Fubi. The man
I'm not here for that. It's the injustice of Yeke Koluba. I'm here for.
Let me say this to you, right? Wait. Everyone free to express themselves. You have no opposition unity today. He's speaking on behalf of CMC. Discuss the issue. Let me go ahead, Fubi. Let's hear you.
Yeah, kind of important to use CMC, important to the man. So need a man let So we'll look forward to a good show today. Good evening, everybody. We look forward to a good show. I think the major training issue.
Your microphone is bad.
Nothing, you gotta mute yourself.
That ain't me, my friend.
Yeah, we got the feedback. It better now? So the feedback from your back. So like I was saying, we look forward to a good show.
Smart, I wanted to take you off the show. I wanted to say
oh, see, you know, we all know that sports tricks. Oh, look forward to a good show today. Thank you. Think that a joy that your tongue.
Yeah, today is one of the craziest days I've seen in my lifetime. It will be noted by generation. I want to congratulate the CDC. That was on my mind. Let me thank the brothers in the CDC for expelling those people from the party. And as we continue on this conversation, I will go deep into it. If you don't want to be an opposition, go and join the government party and collect whatsoever you want to collect. You can't be an opposition, you don't stand with us. So CDC, congratulations for expelling those people. And I thank you all for taking the right step. And I hope CDC will take it forward. Every protection you have over them at CDC, remove it from them. Every support you have given to them at CDC, put it away from them. Let them learn that you cannot be in the opposition and you are fighting against us at the same time. So congratulations, CDC, and I'm going to speak more towards this issue. I'm not going to speak to any other issue about Mr. Bangura tonight. My target today is the issue about Yeke. So Mr. Bangura topic tonight, I will excuse myself. We'll talk about it another day. But this frustration that we have to do is what I'm here.
So, Emmanuel, thank you very much. Welcome to the show for your second day here. My brother and friend Wilfred J.S. Bangura II from MDR. we have to add that there because folks are still mixing you up with CMC. I truthfully don't want to dwell too much on you and CMC because what is so trending now is Yeka Koruba and the issue and forward march of the country, right? To expel Yeka Koruba, whether it came from President Barker or Jeremiah Bankun, the vice president, or the regime speaker or whosoever, we just want to say, for me, I will not focus too much on you. I have a lot of stuff on you I want to beat you on. But you yell with me now. So say you yell with me, I will take my time and beat you small, right? But welcome to the show, Wilford. It's good to see you. Former Chairman MDR, former Secretary General CMC, former Deputy Minister of Commerce. We want to say welcome to the show and let's hear what's on your mind.
The show today. I had a fantastic time here last evening. I want to say good evening to the distinguished panelists here. Really, yesterday I introduced myself on the show and I said what I had to say regarding reasons that impelled me to part ways with the CMC. And of course, I just resigned the 8th of this month. That was just below a fortnight ago. I dropped my pen. So if anybody wants to question the Secretary General who ran the day-to-day activities of a political party and who kept all the notes of meetings of the party, I think it's something really that you want to double check. But I thought that I had great relationship with the CMC people, and we are going to continue to be very great friends. And I don't think my departure should bring any kind of rancor. I will be looking forward to working with them in the near future. Nobody knows what the future holds. I really thought that I wanted the party to be great. In fact, because my sweat equity is in the CMC. So I thought that the CMC was threading on the wrong path. And if anybody feels that they are on course, they're doing well, they're fulfilling all the promises they made in all the communities, in all the counties, then that's bingo. Okay. But I know that I know what I know. And I spoke my mind and I spoke the truth. I know that people in these communities, up to now, they call my phone. Most of them haven't gotten the news that I have resigned from the party. Even up to today, they want these developments. The one in Yangali, the model school, you say it's already up and running. That's perfect if that's true. But I know I just spoke to the people today. So the whole idea of coming to try to prevaricate and try to sugarcoat things and make things to look bad, in my opinion, that's hypocrisy. These are the kind of things I do not stand for. Or I believe that as a political party that wishes to change the narrative of the country, to provide a better direction for Liberia, we must be truth and we must be self-accountable. And it's very clear that the CMC is the only party that has been doing projects across the country. That's true. It's not the responsibility of political parties to do project, but when you commit yourself to do project, it becomes a responsibility to deliver on those projects. The last opinion polls were held. One of them was held on this platform. We saw the performance of the party. So we will have to accept responsibility. You have to accept that responsibility now as CMCians for the future of the party. I wish the party all the best. I just hope that you can pay attention to those projects because, what I'm doing, I think you're going to benefit from it because once you do these projects, you're going to have the masses supporting you. But if you believe that you've done those projects already, you're fine with that, then bingo. But I'm on the show, really, I have stated to the public reasons why I left the CMC. And I know that our path may cross. So I do not want to leave on any note of acrimony or bitterness. I've just said what I have to say. But I wish you well. Thank you for this project.
Wow, thank you very much. I want to say, let's get into it. It's good to have you, T105. Quickly, T, we gave 30 seconds. We've already got to go. It's 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock already, I believe. T, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you, Stanton. And Bangura, thank you for departing the CMC. I want to say here quickly, Yeke, I feel bad for you. I pleaded, on your behalf. I wish you were not expelled, but I think you made it very easy for those who wanted you out. You gave them all the tools they needed. So some are saying that the office of representative that you had, or you denigrated it, and now you are an ordinary man. But I feel bad for you. Liberia, move on. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you. We really want to appreciate your time. Share the show. Let's make progress. Yeke is here. Remove, suspended, expelled, whatever terms you may add to that. We have the Honorable Yeke Kodubai. We're going to discuss the issue concerning Yeke. And if you choose, you can talk about Wayfarer Bangura. Like he said, we move on with fun time to properly discuss him. But my question to everyone today, we give Yeke the first chance to talk to us. We listen to the roll calls, those that signed and those that didn't sign. Nelson, can you please put up these videos because we have them all. We listened, we saw the list of names. Some people are disputing those names. My fellow Liberians, the question is, why are we where we are today? Was this a priority today to expel Yeke, to remove Yeke? Is it more than the fact that the Guineans are still at the border? Is it more than the fact that people are homeless in the country? Is that more than the fact that we all know that folks are jobless in the country? Is that more than anything? The person, through the investigation from our sources, Francis Yumali, from Internal Affairs, that is booked for creating this problem, he still have a job. My sister, the counselor, the Antonina Law, Kula Fofana, comment that she made, she still have a job. So was this just a Yeke? Or it was more about being vindictive, that he must be removed. He must be kept silent. We will play Yeke video when he visited all counties. When he stood under the rain and the sun from one campaign to another campaign to bring President Baga to power. And we must remind you all Liberians, this is like the animal farm. This is like the animal farm. So we said to you, it will be very interesting today. And we want to hear from you, home and abroad. What say you? Consider Yeke an ordinary citizen now. He's not a lawmaker anymore. Will Yeke be able to run? You heard through the reading today that they have called on the Justice Department for what? To prosecute Yeke for charges of treason. Is President Bwaka is going a bit too far yet? Have he forgotten how he got there? So ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Yeke onto the show. Yeke, welcome, let's hear you. We give you the first shot for tonight.
Thank you, Stanton. And let me appreciate the Pop District number 10 and support us and the follower of Stone. Stanton, you know, I don't want us to blame Thomas Fala or to blame Richard Kuhn. Thomas Fala is a very good friend, and I still respect him as an uncle. He and myself have done a lot of things in common. I respect him, but he's not a problem to this issue. People feel within themselves that Yeke Kolba should go and lie down on Mr. Bwaka's feet. I can never. When they brought this to me on so many occasions, I told them, I say, I can never betray the trust of the Liberian people. If I will have to lie down on Mr. Bwaka's feet to remain as representative, I don't want to be representative. A lot of people have been calling me. When they call me, I'm telling them the same thing, Stato. Mr. Bwaka feel he a demon god that people should worship him. No. This country is not owned by Mr. Bwaka. This country, Liberia, is Republic of Liberia, is not Republic of Mr. Bwaka. So people will call me, Yeke, oh, you need to go apologize. And Mr. Bwaka will be coming. You need to go to the airport. Just go for that honor for what? Because of representative job, to remain being representative of this country. Central was surprising to know that Mr. Bwaka sent for the hierarchy of the House this morning to tell them, don't respect the Supreme Court ruling. We will talk to the Supreme Court. Go and go do what you are doing. This is a test again for the Supreme Court. This is a challenge for the Supreme Court. As far as I'm concerned, the Supreme Court put a stay order. I still remain the representative of District number 10 until we go to the court on Monday and the court rule otherwise. But as far as I'm concerned, I still remain the representative of District Number 10 because the court said, stop everything. We know the horse is a political horse. If we lawmakers that were elected by the people cannot respect the laws of the country, what do you expect the commoners to do? Stay on. Do I look at somebody to go being Mr. Bwaka? Mr. Bwaka owe me an apology. And he will give me an apology before he and myself be friendly. Stay on. 1 week before we open, you know the party point myself have meeting, we've been talking. I'm not going to tell you who I've been talking to. That's my privacy. I talk to anybody. We've been talking. We talk. I met with them. Or you want to do like Iran and America? So we will be in one room, I'll be in one room, we'll be passing the message to one another. And I'm still open to talk to anybody. I'm a Liberian. I believe this country must be straight. I believe this country must liberate. We must liberate the Liberian people. Is moving Yeke the priority of this country? What happened to the Port of Transport Ministry? What happened to the Board of World Trade Center? Because of one person, you make a lot of people homeless. You think we'll not talk? Stay talk. The talking have just started. I will speak on Monday, on Sunday. And I will speak with force than ever before. Mr. Bwaka can never ever make me afraid in the country. Nobody can silence me. Nobody whatsoever. I'm waiting for them to arrest me. Because the House of Representatives said the Justice Minister will arrest me. That's why I went to go walk down with us. It's a challenge between them and myself. Put me in jail and don't let me come out. Because when I come out, you will feel the strength of the Liberian people. Stay on. My alleged remover is being done by Mr. Bwaka. It's now Honorable Thomas Fowler, the Deputy Speaker. He's somebody that I respect. He got nothing to do with my issue. Mr. Rachel Kun do not have nothing to do with my issue. So there is no issue between Honorable Fowler, Deputy Speaker, and myself. I'm not for him. But reality is, Mr. Bwaka told them to do what they did in their own instruction. Do you want me to hold Thomas Fowler responsible for it? No. For the matter of fact, my car was dragged into by Rachel Kun. Thomas Fowler paid for it. Thomas Fowler is my very good friend. I respect him, and I still respect him, and I will always respect him. Despite the job or despite anything. Stand up. So the Liberian people,
Thank you. Let me ask you a couple of questions, and we're bringing Dr. Richards here and the rest of the team. Yeke, let's talk about, first of all, let me give all of us a chance, because we got a lot of questions. I want to know about the name, the total number 49. We'll be talking. I spoke to DJ Blue. He wanted me to announce it. We'll call. He said he didn't sign. I spoke to Taiwan, where Taiwan will say he didn't sign. Right? Alvin Jones saying he posted that he didn't sign. Where did they get the 49 total numbers? If those lawmakers are on record saying somebody lied, somebody intentionally lied, who falsifying the document? These are some serious questions. You need a 2/3. You need a 49. The people name that you put on it, the people say they didn't sign. What's going on with the government of Liberia?
Stenton, in the first place, that's why you know I'm not educated. Like people always say, I'm not educated. Stenton, I know my rules very well. My rule says, if any member is not certified with a yea and nay, you must raise the issue, and you should be recognized by the presiding, and the presiding should ensure that there should be hair count. You saw me raising the issue today. I said this matter is not but yea and nay. Stenton, what the pope failed to do was to say, Stenton signed. Stenton, did you sign this document? Stenton said, yes. I, Stenton Waterspoon of District Number 10, signed this document. Did they do that? Did they do that? I know that when we respect the code, Mr. Bwaka will not respect the code. Though. Tomo Fala and Rachel Kun do not have nothing to do with the issue. I know Mr. Bwaka will not respect the Supreme Court. But if the Supreme Court rules, I will go to work. The Supreme Court get order, I will go to that place. Let them get ready. They think the one will get, look, I'm calling on them to arrest me before the Supreme Court give his ruling. If the Supreme Court say we should go back, it's not done properly, I will go to work. Let Mr. Bwaka leave the mansion and come to me. Let him come. Is he the owner of this country? What wrong with this man we brought? We raise our life Stanton. We use our money. Use my trucks that I brought. Put music over here to make Mr. Bwaka who he is today. You think I regret? I don't regret. But you think I regret my attitude? I would not regret my attitude because people are saying it is Stanton, Yeke, and other people that brought this government on us. Then people say, oh, Yeke, leave the country and go. To do what? I brought government that enslaved the Lebrepo. I'm going to leave the Lebrepo and go. Stanton, I want to be the first political prisoner. And I challenge them. That's why I went to war today. Who can make leopards scared? With rat.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we're going to spend a lot of time here. Let me bring in Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson, let's go through our own comment, right? Then we would go into the question, or you can do either or. It doesn't matter to me because tonight's show will be at the 12th May night, if you can hang on. This is a wonderful special edition today. I want us to also go to our audience, our fans, home and abroad, to take a lot of calls from them because this is a new day. But whether that day is new, we'll consider a sad day for Liberia. But let's hear you, Dr. Richardson.
Yes, Stanton, I want to agree with you that today is a sad day for Liberia because due process, the rule of law, wasn't followed as it is said in our Constitution and as we have studied for a very long time. Yeke, you're right. When you speak about the Constitution and proper due process was not followed. Like you told us in the House, the rule says you have to have a yea and nay vote. And people have to stand up. If you have to stand up and beat your chest and say, I voted for Yeke, or I didn't vote for Yeke. Okay, that's part of the rule as someone who's in the House telling us right now. And I'm happy that we have such a rule because we don't want someone like Mr. Bengura who will be in the Ministry of Deputy, as a Deputy Member of Commerce and sit there and say that I was not involved. I know nothing about the commercial. We don't want someone like Bengura in our body politics today in Liberia, in a member of our country to say, I don't know anything about what's going on. People can be indicted. People can be indicted for corruption, okay, or alleged corruption, and you come to the public and say, I don't know anything about it. So in your House of Representatives, you can stand up and say, I, Francine Chenoweth Richardson, voted or not voted for Yeke Koluba. And we want to see that documented. So we won't have today what we're talking about here.
That's a wrong law.
Yes, we won't have this kind of confusion that we have in our country going on where we'll say for the 8 people voted, for the 9 people voted, or whatever. But what I'm trying to definitely say, I'm ending here, Stanton, because I know you're becoming impatient with me. I don't know. Maybe a woman voice.
Dr. Richardson, I'm not even after you. I'm uploading stuff. I am uploading stuff, Dr. Richardson.
You will give me the right to talk to Tim. Okay, I'm laughing, but it's a very serious and sad day, that we should, Liberian people should be paying a lot of attention to this matter, all right? We want to bring us citizens in our country that will stand up today or tomorrow and speak for the integrity they say they stand on. I was in here yesterday, I heard the show. Wilfred and Greg talk about integrity yesterday. That is the integrity we're talking about today in the House of Representatives. Because Wilfred Pangura, who was a custodian of CMC record, can come today and say he don't know whether we have promises or not, or we broke promises, when we know very well. We know very well promises were kept. We know the Jaw River is a very serious bridge to be built. It's not something that will take 1 day or 2 days. But yet and still, the custodian of information, who, if you look at any of the pictures, when CMC was doing the activities, he's not into it. You don't even see him. Then he would come on public radio yesterday.
Dr. Richardson is ready to make
I was involved, but I was involved in the
Ministry of Commerce. Okay, Dr. Richardson, we'll come back to you now. I know you still want to get piece of Winfred Bagura. Let me bring in Manuel George. Just to remind folks, guys, if you go out and come back in your position, change on the show. So don't blame me. I'm not doing it. If you want to try, you can try. I will just keep the road going through and we get to you. Let me bring in Emmanuel Josh. Emmanuel, let's hear you on this Yeket issue. A lot of questions.
Thank you very much, sir.
Excuse me. I had a question for Yeke, but he's not on the show.
Yeke will have to come back.
If you want, I'll wait for him to come to understand certain things that took place in the house.
But can you give you a quick comment? Yeke come, we say ask a question. He's like the guest, right?
So yeah, yesterday we read the document from the Supreme Court asking that placed an injunction and calling for a conference on Monday. One who have expected that the lawmaker expected that to go to the conference on Monday before making this decision.
Folks, please share the show.
So
please
we have
the show.
a
Please
mini,
like, please follow,
perhaps,
please
a
comment.
mini, perhaps constitutional crisis, where the Supreme Court have asked for a conference on Monday, but the lawmakers decided that they would not listen to the Supreme Court. They will go ahead with this expulsion that we have today. So my question that I had to Yeke, because I learned, I didn't witness this today. It was an extremely busy day for me. I didn't witness it, but I learned that he walked out of so what. So that's the question I wanted to ask to get some clarity. But again, I will continue to thank the CDC for the step they have taken, and there should be lesson learned. We must build political institutions in our country. Those of us who got involved in politics at a young age, we got in politics because of the respect for political institutions. When I lived for many years in Nigeria, I could see political institutions being developed. Not all the flip-flopping, somersaulting left and right that take place in Liberia every day. Nobody know what party it belongs to or where it will be after 2-3 days. Oh, Yeke, you back. So, Yeke, is it true? Can you confirm or deny whether there was another hearing beside the hearing from the committee? I think the ethics committee you met with day before yesterday. Was there another hearing that you walk out from?
That's the only hearing I went to when I went with my lawyers. When they decided that they would not listen to my lawyers, and I thought in my mind, I know how somebody to represent me because they wrote me on communication to say, when you are coming, come with your lawyer. So if you deprive me of a lawyer, then she has said there will be a lot of legal implication. You talk about treason.
Yeah. How does the Liberian House of Representatives work? Sorry, I've a lot of House of Representatives in other parts. So when report come from the committee room onto the full floor, is there no discussion on those reports? You guys go straight into voting?
No, they did it the way they wanted to do it, because when the communication come on the floor, you have to allow everybody from each district, each county to make their input on the recommendation from the rules and order. When you do that, then you put the report out, you ask for people to vote. When you get your resolution, you come with your resolution. You have to do hand count. They will have to call Honorable Dr. Emmanuel name. Emmanuel said, yes, that's my signature. And we go on. But you saw what happened today? They just said, state on water spoon. Emmanuel, Fubi hearing. That's not the process. That's not the process. And that is why I started to object to and said, no, this is not a yay and nay, because the way they were proceeding is like a yay and nay.
You lying. They asked those who signed to put their hands up and who were for or against.
2 days ago,
you lying.
That Rules and Order Committee conference they had with you, besides that, there have not been any follow-up. They did not give you the documents
not at all.
They did not give you the evidence as you requested. They did not give you.
No.
So they competed from that.
And watching the proceeding. They said we should go on Spoon and find the evidence from Spoon.
Yeah, because that's a Spoon everywhere. You always come here.
You said because of me, the Guineans were rejoicing.
Yeah.
The Guineans were rejoicing. And because of me, Dumbuya took instruction from me to seize the liberal land. And Honorable Dumbuya, President Dumbuya, remain my friend. I don't regret my friendship.
But that's lie, Yeke.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Yeke. I'm having a better understanding now because our brother Fubi was running with some other things today. So thank you for the clarity.
Anything otherwise, bring it.
Yeah, let me say hi. Emmanuel, when you actually suing somebody, or you actually calling somebody to bring their lawyers, right? There's a process called discovery. That process means that Yeke Kolba people will have access to the evidence. And the evidence they put forth that the Guineans were rejoicing, and so other evidence that the government at war. Emmanuel, the government position and President Bokai's speech, nothing shows that the government at war with Guinea. Matter of fact, Phoebe Henry and I made a case that troops should be there. The government rejected that. And the government said, we're not at war.
Amen.
We will solve this peacefully.
Yeah, the other slow guy, yeah. Kev.
Matter of fact, the president's speech, the president said the Guineans are withdrawing.
Kev, you too slow.
So there is nothing that Yeke said that shows that
where the Guineans are withdrawing. Have you been to the border to, prove that?
I want the Liberian
have you
people
been to the border?
One of the consequences of treason is
the Guineans are still at the border. And you lying said the Guineans are withdrawing.
So the government is saying that they will put Yeke on, they will hang him, or they will put him on firing squad. That's what the government is charging Yeke of. This Joseph Iman Boka government, because it's treason. So there is nothing shows, right? So why are they coming up at this moment with expelling Yeke without giving Yeke a due process? And due process
because Yeke has always been quite disrespectful to the House, to his colleagues.
Today they announced 51.
What due process do you expect?
When folks
give Yeke a chance, he didn't utilize
in the House, they went to 49.
Instead, he was very insulting and disrespectful.
The folks, which is Ty Wongwe and Senator is right. Senator spoke with Ty Wongwe. Senator spoke with two of the guys, them and DJ Blue. They came on Facebook, said no. So by the rule, they don't have 49, which is a 210. And now they are saying they remove Yeke. And I say to the people that this government is being ruled by decree. And Yeke, you're absolutely right. This is not Fala. This is not Kun. Those guys are puppet because Joseph Yuma Bokai sanctioned this. And we know that. We know that. Joseph Yuma Bokai sanctioned this to remove Yeke. So when I say we are in the dark days, these are the dark days. This is not about Yeke. This is about
thank you very much. Let me bring in Jacob Jala. Jacob is here. You have a question. Yeke is here. We're going to wait for Bangura, Phoebe Henry, and Wanukat. Guys, it's very important for us to remind ourselves that if you have a question for Yeke, ask Yeke. To our folks out there, we have not opened the line yet. We'll open the line and tell you, so we'll cease with the call yet. Jacob, let's hear you. What have you observed, or do you have a question for Yeke?
No, I'll make a statement here, and I'll try to be a little bit emphatic on my comment. Look, State, I'll tell you this. As a student of political development in Liberia, I've come to one conclusion. And that conclusion is that whenever people get power in this country, they go mad. I can tell you that for sure. And we've seen that in this country repeatedly, even as young, comrades coming out of the university and all of that, watching political development. We saw that with Mr. Taylor. His people went mad. We saw that even in the CDC, when they took steps to remove Justice Janet unjustifiably, took some action even against political opponents, the CDC found some time to go mad. The Unity Party is going mad. From what we see here, getting extremely drunk with power, and we see what happened with the Yeke situation. It is a piece of madness in all respect, a violation of the law. You're stepping all over people's democratic right. And today, Senator Amarakone said something he exposed, and I was touched by that to the very bones. And he talked to one lady who said, about the removal of Yeke and the expulsion, so-called expulsion exercise. And then the woman said she was frustrated and disappointed because her vote was disrespected and thrown away by a few insecure, greedy men at the legislature. It is wrong, wrong, wrong. And we should not play with the democracy here, because the Liberian people pay heavy, heavy price, blood, tears, and treasure over 14 years of civil war bloodbath for this democracy that is only 20 years old. And for us to see a lack of wisdom at the legislature, men who should be old enough to understand what's happening in this country today and be taking the kind of decision, disrespecting the democratic decision of the people from District 10, just because you don't agree. Because what happened to Yeke? Let's put Yeke on one side. I don't agree with Yeke's style of discourse and all that kind of thing, but it's irrelevant. We have to respect democratic value in the we are not under martial law. We are on democratic rule, and we have to respect the law. If you don't agree with Yeke's style of discourse, it's another question. But to create a set, whatever Yeke said down there, what is the evidence that was treasonable or was treasonable? You should go to court to prove that. But to see the executive mansion involved in removing someone the Liberian people voted for, the Constitution, I think Article 1, all power inherent in the people. 70,000 people went to the polls or more to take a democratic decision, and for few men to just go to the legislature because we allegedly learned that people were giving dollars to make that kind of. It's a huge disgrace to this country, and I think the international community people looking at us and laughing at us. And all these things have the ability to undermine investment in the country. Because if I'm an investor, I want to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in Liberia, and I see that the legislature is disrespecting a prohibition from the Supreme Court, what does that say to people who want to come to Liberia? So for me, I'm extremely annoyed by what happened today, and I think people are taking for granted where we have come from, a country, the war, the violence, the bloodbath, all fighting for this democracy here, and for people to forget soon where we come from. I think people have very short memory, and it's unfortunate. And I think the executive mansion, I'll pin all this to the doorstep of the executive mansion. And I think President Bouaka is an elderly statesman, and I feel extremely disappointed that he's not rising to the occasion, and he's allowing all these people around him to drag it along the road. We can't be emotional to make the right decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sugar Jada. Let me bring in Fubi. Hold on 1 minute, wait for I bring in Fubi. Seniority play a lot here. Since you left CMC, we have reduced your seniority. Fubi.
Y'all leave a man with her. No, I know I'm thinking of too much to now. When I start talking, when I get first with him. So there are a few points. The roll call today at the House didn't include Abba Juice assigning for the removal. It didn't include DJ Blue assigning. It didn't include Tai One Way assigning. And the list also published, they didn't include them. So I don't know why they were even posting that they didn't sign the list. The roll call, they didn't say they signed. So that was the first error from them posting that they didn't sign. Then the other point, look, the Supreme Court has powers, but the Supreme Court got limitations under the Constitution. Most of the time we ignore that. The Supreme Court cannot enforce action against the House, the legislature. The executive cannot enforce action against the legislature. And also, we have not paid attention to that. The Supreme Court cannot overturn legislative administrative decision. The only power the Supreme Court has to overturn decision is in Article 2. When the House makes inconsistent laws, the Supreme Court has the power to nullify that to the degree of inconsistency. But for administrative decision, the Supreme Court cannot overturn it. And that's why when people vote in the House, you have to lobby with your colleagues to get the numbers on your side. When you get the number on your side, nothing they can do to you. But if you don't get the number on your side, the majority of way will always prevail. And I expect all our lawmakers to know that play is about numbers, nothing else. So we need to focus on that. And for me, I will not blame the president. I know we can shift to a different level, But I would say the House of Representatives, they got their own issues. Different people spoke on different reasons why they even signed. Like you saw, remember, Briggs Meza reason for signing, and I talked to other guys personally, and they all gave their reasons why they signed. And it's not about the president inducing it. We know that you can play a crucial role in supporting the United Party to bring the United Party to power. That was a great stuff. But at some point, people even left their districts in different communities to troop in to support it. But the politics, things will change around, and you have to be open to the dynamics of a new day. So CDC personally even want to physically attack Yeke on several occasions. That was a different war. These other guys, they use the law. And the only way you can beat them is by playing according to the rule. The Supreme Court can give all her stay order. They cannot prevent the legislature. They cannot enforce their actions. So most of the time, it's good for the court to stay out of these kind of legislative administrative issues, because you will now enforce your order. So why even participate? You even demoralize the court when you get involved.
Thank you, Phoebe. Let me ask you a question. All the rules from the House of Representatives, all the rules speak to the fact that we have a constitution that the Supreme Court should interpret. Are those rules superseding the Constitution?
Article 38 gave the legislature the power to expel their own members for
Phoebe, Article 38. Is Article 38. Can we say that it supersedes the Constitution of the Republic?
Great question, Stenton.
What you say, Phoebe?
Article 38 is an article within the Constitution.
So is that article superseded the Constitution that gave the interpretation of the Supreme Court the power to interpret?
It's a mandate given to the lawmakers to set their own rules, to enforce their own orders.
That rule supersedes the Constitution?
The Constitution in general, Article 38 is a part of that.
You see how you cannot explain freely because
I'm sorry, man. If it's superseded.
Stop, my man. You have your time. Let me say something, Phoebe. And that's the reason why you cannot explain freely. There's nothing. Now, hold on, Phoebe. I beg you, Chief. I know you still get the flow. There is nothing that will supersede the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. The first thing, let me ask you the second question. They were started to appear next week. They sent them a letter. Do you think that they intentionally refused the citation? Were they right to ignore the citation?
The first thing, Article 38 is part of the Constitution, so it doesn't supersede or go under or anything. So it's part of the Constitution. That's the first point.
So who's responsible to interpret that Article 38 in line with the Constitution?
The Supreme Court interprets the Constitution by mandate, and the Article 38 is not a good one.
No, so
the lawmakers
solution based now. If we have the argument from the House of Representatives, like in the case of Fonati Kofa, it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said ultra-virus, right? And they were very clear. Though we have our own position, but it has to work for them to interpret and find a solution based here. But if we say the member of the Capitol building today can do anything they want to do because they make their own rule that supersedes the Constitution, then our country is in trouble. So I don't want you to run with that narrative that the Supreme Court should always be ignored because we got 73 lawmakers that can make the rule to protect themselves from all else, from the Constitution. But you can talk to me. Talk to me.
The article that my brother Phoebe talking about, he's right. But the article says we should make our own rules, not in conflict with the Constitution. Anything that comes in conflict with the Constitution is no.
That's what Secretary is saying. That's what Secretary is saying.
Yeah, he's not right. Because Phoebe is saying,
it's inconsistent.
You gotta wait back. Let's talk one at a time. And that's why I'm asking the question, Yeke. It should be in conflict with the Constitution.
Thank
But
you.
when my brother Fubi Herod present this thing as if to say the House of Representative members are law and gospel. You cannot touch them. So we need some clarity. I will be calling Horatio Guya, who will be appearing on the show, to explain to us. So therefore, let's hear you, Winfred Bagura. Fubi, thank you very much. We got to get here sometime. Winfred, let's hear you. Then we'll go to T1.
Thank you very much, Stanton. Thank you so much. I'd like to say good evening once again to Yeke. Just like T said, I'm in solidarity with you in terms of what happened today. I know that nobody would like to go through such experience, especially when you hold public office. So I can empathize with that. But that being said, I thought that it's very important for us to be very truthful to the discourse. Yeke got expelled today, not because of his normal rants or his normal usage of vulgar language. He's been doing that before, but he faced the action of the House of Representatives today because of certain remarks he made with respect to the aggression from our neighboring country, Guinea. It is very interesting to hear that the blame has clearly been put on the executive mansion. I hear Stanton say it's the president. I hear Kev say it's the president. A lot of people are saying it's the president. Now, I'm interested in the evidence because it's very easy for us to blame just anybody. But it's very important for us to bring evidence forward to adduce to say, this is the evidence that we have. Otherwise than that, to just accuse the president or accuse anybody for something we said by ourselves. We opened our own mouths and we said certain things, and we've been held accountable for what we said. And instead of facing that, then we want to blame a second party. I think it's unfair. I would like to submit 3 citations that you may want to look at: Article 31, Article 76, and Article 2, Section 4 of the UN Charter. Article 31 talked about the solemn oath of affirmation that lawmakers will have to take. That will include senators and representatives, that they will have to take. It's an oath of office that you take, and the words there were carefully chosen, and you will have to recite those words. And because those words have meaning, that you will uphold and defend the Constitution of the Republic. It didn't stop there. It went on to say, in conclusion, that you will ensure you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a lawmaker. When you take that oath, you have given consent that everything you say and everything you do, you are going to ensure that your action and inaction are in conformity and that they are consistent with the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. That is the organic law of the land. In Article 76, it says that there are certain things you can say that can amount to treason, such as, I don't want to mention espionage, but if you make comments that, to the effect will surrender a portion of Liberia, as it were, to a foreign country, that action is treasonous, is in Article 76. And clearly, as we speak, we have foreign soldiers, army on our soil. We have a hostile flag being hosted on our soil. Under international law, no nation state has got the right to breach our political independence, territorial integrity, and move into our territory bearing arms and hosting their flags. Those are hostile flags. The legislature, as a member or as a body, has the constitutional responsibility to even declare war. You can declare war. So, as a student of international relations, I know that when these kinds of conditions are obtaining, we can technically say that our Guinean neighbors have declared war on us by bearing arms and crossing the borders and hoisting the flag on our soil.
Liberia and Guinea are not at war. Please.
I'm a student of international relations.
Where's the government position? Is the government sit down?
If I would just finish, your platform is being used. It's being highly monitored.
If I would just finish my comment.
No, so guys, let's pretend wait for Kev, I beg you, my brother, I beg you. We gotta protect each other. Bangura gotta speak. Bangura, please, use your last 30 seconds, please.
Thank you, Stanton. I'm saying to you that Guineans breached our and the legislature is expected to uphold the Constitution as a lawmaker to defend that oath of office. So when we make comments, if we will have to make comments about anything happening around the border, we must be prepared to take responsibility for what we said. And I would ask you, are you proud of the statement that you made that the Guineans own that piece of property or that piece of land, when clearly we have a boundary that indicates that that is Liberia? So,
but I will interrupt you now. It's when I will interrupt you. Why can't you ask President Barker that question? Why are you asking Yeke? Is the Guineans no, Bangura? And then you know what? Let me tell you the truth. I've been studying for you for a very long time.
Do you want me to answer your question?
Yeah. Because the fact remains is that we have a president that have promised the Liberian people that the Guinean will live in. And this is it. Listen to him.
I'm encouraged that the government of Guinea has issued instruction for its forces to return to their previous positions along the border.
You hear that, my friend? No, Bangura, right? This is from the commander-in-chief. He is encouraged that the Guinea have issued a withdrawal, and everybody say, hey. But you asking Yeke who own the land? President Biden is the Bangura, wait, my man, let me learn.
Answer your question.
No, let me enjoy my question. Okay? And let's understand this, Jacob Jara. The president have not spoken. They're putting Yeke on the spotlight that Yeke give the land to the Guinea people. He is the commander-in-chief. What happened with the land issue? The Guineans are still there, Bangura. When you asking Yeke the question, we should be asking President Bwaka who own that land. I mean, Bangura, come on now.
So are you ready for me now?
Yeah, I am. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this is where you're wrong. The president did not say the land belongs to Guinea. He did not make that comment. Yeke made that comment. So how would I be asking the president the question I'm asking Yeke?
Why the Guineans stay on our land? Why the Guineans stay on the Liberian people land?
The very tip you play right now.
Why the Guineans stay on the Liberian people land?
But they are the aggressors. They are the aggressors. This is what I'm saying.
So can we push what the president is doing since the people been on that land for almost 3 months? Can we push and ask the president?
Yes, we can.
Okay, then why are you not asking the question? Why is he not speaking? Instead of going after the Guinean people to withdraw, he's taking Yeke from job. He's saying that they should remove Yeke.
Then when you're done,
come back to you, my brother. It's so good I have you on the show. I've been setting for you. Let me tell you what in my mind right now. I've already been setting for you, and you on the show. I love it. Let me bring you Yeke Koluba. Yeke, I'm not
done yet, Santa.
No, but you're not done. You spoke already. We gotta go to Yeke.
Santa, let's ask him what the government position.
Let Yeke respond. Let Yeke respond. Then we'll go to T1 car. Yeke respond, please.
So Stanton.
Yeke, I'll back you 1 minute, Yeke. Bangura,
yes.
Can you sit where Nelson is sitting? Because it will enable us to bring another panelist on. Yeah, we want to bring one panelist in the back on, but you are on the visitor computer. Am I correct?
I don't know which computer belongs to the visitor, but I'm on the computer.
Yeah, so you don't know because your day number 2, that place will be your home. We'll get a room there for you. But can you please sit on Nelson Colette's seat? So to give us one more room, please, and then Nelson will just sit and just monitor you from a distance, please. I'm calling, he's not answering. That's why I'm saying this to you. Okay, go ahead, Yeke, please. Yeke, go ahead. Yeke, go ahead.
So, Stanton, you see, when we come to talk to the Liberal people, we have to be very careful. While up to now, the commander-in-chief have not declared Guinea as the aggressor. Why? Why? Article 50 of the Constitution speak about this. You understand what I'm saying? Look, we should stop joking with the Liberian people. We should stop joking with the Liberian people. The House of Representatives do not have the authority to investigate treasonable issues. Crimes, no. The UNEGAP responsibility to talk about our rules that have been validated by me. Not to be talking about discussing treasonable issues. Treasonable issues are discussed by the Supreme Court, by the court of this country. So while up to now, the commander-in-chief have not declared Guinea as the aggressor. Why? Why? According to my brother here, that want to justify why, maybe because of certain reason, he want to justify certain thing, have not asked the president, Mr. Boakai, why Guinea have not been declared the aggressor. Why? According to him, he said Guinea is the aggressor. Have the commander-in-chief said that? I got in Liberia on the 16th of March. Before I got in Liberia, Guinea was to that place. The 16th of March, Kula Fofana said, or lay clean by Liberia. Kula Fofana said, lay for Liberia. Have they investigated Kula Fofana? Because Kula Fofana speak for Mr. Boakai. Kula Fofana speak for Mr. Boakai. Look, you gotta stop joking with the country. Don't get after your interests and spoil this country. If we go after our interest, if I go after my interest, I will lay down on Mr. Boakai for one key. This matter was going to be finished. I said, no, Mr. Boakai, I am not your son. Go and look for your children. I will bear that under your foot. Stanton are saying some text messages. We on the phone. People asking me to leave the country, Stanton. And let me say to the Liberian people and my supporters, I would never, ever leave this country. I want them to arrest me. I challenge them to arrest me. I have not done anything treasonable. I challenge them. Stanton, I send a message to you. People asking me to leave the country because of my life. Where am I leaving the Liberian people to go? We brought a problem on the Liberian people. I brought this problem on the Liberian people. So all of us will stay here and see the heat and see the suffering, the same suffering the Liberian people going through. I'm not going nowhere. If you want to arrest me, come in the day and arrest me. Anybody can come to my door in the night, I will defend myself. And I see Moses will come for you while defending myself.
So let me bring in T1, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we'll be hearing from you. We'll put up Kula Fofana's statement. It's very important for us to just put everything out tonight. We got Yeke Koruba, who is here in studio with us. Let me bring in T1. What's your take here, my brother?
Thank you, Stanton. I think that the problem with Yeke, I think that it escalated so quickly because a lot of his colleagues believe that he denigrated the House. I think that his conduct as a lawmaker, the way he carried himself, caused him to lose sympathy that he should have earned yesterday and today. And I want to speak quickly to another point.
Let me interrupt you, man. I beg you, not disrespect to you, my friend, brother. You know we're talking about, man. That thing I know. That Yeke problem, disrespect. So no, because they took money. These are allegations that people walk away with 25,000 and more. When you come in for and say Yeke problem, Yeke problem, I will say you are in a mass stomach. He started that problem to work with him. That today they know that Yeke problem is a bad problem. When you get
that question goes to him. But the point I want to make here is this: when we make claims on the show, I remember like about a month or so ago, everybody on the show said, "Hey, you made a statement, you got to prove it." And I started sending text messages here and there. So when people make claims that the government supported this process, that Joseph Yuma Boakai removed Yeke Koruba and the speaker and the deputy speaker, they're not responsible for that. I will hope that this network, will ask them to show proof. We should not only be demanding proof when we don't like the statement. This is the place where we come to speak what we believe. A lot of people.
Say that Joseph Boakai removed, they say must show proof. I mean, you got an internet problem. I don't have an internet. You got a
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, so, but the sources saying that Yeke saying that the president they tell you so much show that we can't show proof.
Okay, now can you stop interrupting for a second? The point I hear here is this. A lot of people in District 10, a lot of people in District 10 like Yeke Koluba. But I believe that the manner in which he conducted himself, it just made it very difficult for him. I feel bad. I honestly feel bad. More than 10,000 people in District 10 voted for Yeke. And the form and manner in which he was removed, for me, it does not set the right precedent. I posted multiple times that I don't support it. But in politics, it's not like in a courtroom. You got to lobby. It's all about numbers. Stanton. No matter what we say here, you always say tapata. This is just, we're just talking our own. In the end, Yeke has been in that house long enough to be able to understand that it's about numbers. All the time he was passing around, cursing yesterday, he was supposed to be pleading with his friends. Today, he will still be a lawmaker. That's what I want to say. The House of Representatives, nothing the court can do about it. And it's unfortunate. I agree with you, Stanton, that the court is supposed to be the final interpreter of our law. For the court to send a message and say, pause this process, and then we look less than 10 hours later, you have removed your colleague. I don't like that. It's not good. But in the end, you get sorry, I finish.
Stanton, can I respond to you in 1 minute?
No, go ahead. Respond to the man.
The commander-in-chief of this country is Mr. Boakai. Mr. Boakai took off to protect the territorial boundary of this country. While up to now, Saint Liberia and Guinea are war. While Mr. Boakai have not declared the ambassador personal neglect. Why he have not done that? Why he have not tell the ambassador to leave this country because Guinea brought war on Liberia? Why? He took off. Why have you not done that? Look,
let me answer. Diplomacy negotiation is going on in the back channel.
But now Mr. Boakai have to, Mr. Boakai supposed to declare the ambassador personal neglect in taking all of the country because Guinea brought war on us according to y'all. Not according to the country, according to y'all. Because as far as I'm concerned, Stanton, I want to be very careful. The international people are monitoring your station. We shouldn't be talking about Liberia and Guinea at war. We need to stop it. Liberia and Guinea are not at war. Mr. Boakai made commitment and he has not fulfilled his commitment. That was bringing all the problem today. And I will talk about it Sunday in my press conference. I'm not going to leave this country. We will stay here and speak. Let Mr. Boakai take the courage and declare the ambassador personal neglect and taking all of the country. I challenge him. If Guinea and Liberia are at war.
So thank you very much. I see you just joined us so quickly. We give you time. I got to bring back Dr. Richardson. Folks, this is, listen, I'm sorry. If you want to get fair, you don't want any attack, then just take off today. But today is a good one for us to just say it as it is, right? Who removed Yeke Koluba? Was it the lawmaker or was it President Boakai? Who actually removed Yeke Koluba? I said my question remains the same. To all Liberians, the president appeared at the airport. And this is what President Boakai said when he appeared at the airport.
There is this controversial discussion of the expulsion of a certain lawmaker, Yeke Koluba. There are some citizens who believe that this never happened previous administration, therefore it should not happen on your watch, given your experience in government.
There are a lot of things that never happened that will happen as long as we need things to happen. I am now in the legislature.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President.
That's it.
Whether you're going to just whip the president off and say, don't talk too much, he said there's a lot of things that never happened that will happen. That's a code. They were coded. Dr. Richardson will in some serious problem. The president say yes. Whether you vote for him, you vote for him. Whether you walk in the poo-poo water, you walk in the poo-poo water. If you cause a man a power, the people are saying the president will remove you. If you talk about people at the border and you say the truth, right now, let me say to everybody, which one the network covering the border today? Which one? They quiet all of them. Which one the network? When you wake up in the morning covering the border today. This is the Liberia we have today. It's a very sad day. It's not because Yeke, I care less about Yeke. But it's because of the fundamental truth that will bring Joseph Boakai as president of the republic to reconcile the country. Not only to rebury day by day. No. You're talking about dead body, you're doing peace with dead body, but then the people that are living, you can't make peace with them. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's okay to rebury dead body, but make peace with the people that are alive. This is the Liberia we have today. That the president have approved. Listen to that one way. I will put it up. What the president wanted, what he gets. What President Barker asked for, why they give President Barker. Yeke should not be a lawmaker like our sources telling us. Yeke should be taken and questioned for terrorism act. As it do.
The national legislature is only about numbers. Ty, you wanted to be a lawmaker. Imagine in the future, 49 lawmakers come together and say they will remove you because you ate 8 o'clock p.m. It's about numbers, right? Imagine 50 lawmakers come together and saying they will remove you because you made 3 minutes calls. It's about numbers, right? When we were kids coming up from kindergarten, we always heard that running a country is based on legal principles. President Barker is the president today. It's only about numbers. What will you say if a future government decides to remove someone because they stood on the road for 2 minutes? It's about numbers. We expect a level-headed people to be discussing these things like grave. Let me remind you, no one will pray for bad for this country, but we have to be sincere to what's happening here today. Once upon a time, this country went through 14 years of civil crisis. It was not because people were eating. It was not because they would never had roads. It wasn't because they never had schools. It was because of the suppression of people. Who on this show believes that President Barker has nothing to do with Yeke? I would say President Barker possesses every trait of a dictator. I will say, I have never seen in President Barker anything that resembles a national leader. President Barker was a mistake in this country that will be corrected. My brothers, Yeka Koluban made a statement that was in direct response to the statement issued by Kula Fofana, who happens to be the secretary, the press secretary of the president. What did she say? The land that Liberia claims. She did not say the land that Liberia owns. She did say, though, the land that Liberia claims. And Yeke came up to say President Barker was just breaking down the homes of old people and poor people when he said God is not making new lands. So maybe the Guineans heard what he said and said they're coming for their land. Indirect reference to Kula Fofana saying this land that Liberia claims. Someone said, as a lawmaker, you took oath to defend the Constitution. In kindergarten, they told me the president took oath to defend the territory of the nation. Whenever that oath is broken, the president is subjected to impeachment and removal. Have we lost our senses simply because we want to defend? And my brother Bangura, you know where we come from. You are a decent, smart brother. I can tell you one thing. If United Party had accused you of taking all the Liberian government money doing CC and the fact that you supported them today, you will never be persecuted. Let me end on this. Today, someone created a fake page in my name and saying Oakland on Facebook, and I went to clarify. You know why you people were saying, oh, you scared now? Oh, you scared now? My brother, this is the country you want to live in? Imagine people you be, oh, you scared now? So now, everyone now should be afraid. Nobody dares criticize the president. And of course, I will say the president is a brutal dictator because his actions have shown everything of a dictator. And one of the reasons why I'm always covering
Thank you. So let's go.
because I know.
Let me put this up quickly. Also, we'll come back to you again. We want to say, let's put this up, Dr. Richard. So let's start with Kula Fufana. The second paragraph here says, a recent incident in the Solomba area of Foya District, Lofa County, have raised concern among residents and local authorities following reports of confrontation between Guinean soldiers and Liberia civilians near the border. Local sources indicated that tension intensified that Guinean troops crossed into territory claimed by Liberia near Solomon, a border community in Lofa, right? That Guinean troops crossed into territory claimed by Liberia. So, and people that want to argue with this, though, right? Where is Kula Fufana right now? She's the press secretary. Will the president punish her? Will the president dismiss her? Will she be investigated because she used it? Even the pastor claimed, right, that it's for Guinea, and they came to take back the property. Talk to me, Dr. Richardson. Let's take this step by step. Then we'll talk about threats, right? When they don't say he will stone the president car. When President Barker said there will be no Liberia if the election is rigged, it will go through the different threats that came from folks that were in opposition at the time and say which one is which. Talk to me, Dr. Richardson, on Kula's statement here.
So Stanton, you're making a point here, and your point is what was wrong yesterday should be wrong today. What was illegal yesterday should be illegal today. When we talk about the House making its own rule, we're talking about making a rule that will not supersede the citizens' due process. That's what we're talking about. Yes, the Article 38 gives the House the right to make its rule, but the rule should not supersede someone's the citizens' due process. As we're talking about here, Yeke Koluba's due process should not be abandoned by the House. That's what we're speaking about. But as I'm hearing you guys on the show, especially sources on the show are saying that there was cash violence that was used, okay, to remove you, Yeke. And if that is the case, that is wrong. That is very, very wrong. And the president did not clearly say, I did not remove Yeke. I don't appreciate anyone saying that I do. He said, there's a lot of things that would happen that never happened before. How would you guys, or anyone who's listening, interpret that? That's what I wanted to ask. How do you interpret that? When the president says, there's a lot of things that never happened will happen. It sounds to me, he's telling us that Yeke will be removed. Perhaps it didn't happen in previous government. Yeke was adored by previous government. And so in my government, he's going to be removed. But let me remind people, okay? President Buckeye has been accused for holding grudges. Y'all please ask Amara Conde if I'm lying. Amara Conde wrote a book, and I was on the show, and I asked him where he said President Buckeye has about 17 grudges that was written down about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. And what I'm trying to say is that, is it possible that President Buckeye, and Liberian people, I don't know, I'm asking questions again, and is it possible that President Buckeye is holding a grudge against Yeke? And so he is now using the power that he has to remove Yeke. We know that, when you support the Unity Party, and we have seen people who are now supporting the Unity Party, people who are now getting protected, okay, in a whole department where people will be indicted, but because you support the Unity Party, you will not be indicted. That is very similar to what we're saying here for you, Yeke. When you supported the Unity Party, you were a darling boy of the Unity Party. Now you speak against the Unity Party, they want you removed. Now, Mr. Yeke, and all of us know in Liberia, okay, Representative Yeke, that we will not always say that we like what you say. You will not say you are our cup of tea. But the fact is, we must respect due process of law in our country. We must respect that. That is a number one principle of democracy. And thank you, Stanton. That was what I have to say.
Well, you asked a good question. Whether President Barker can keep Grush. You asked a good question. But you know, I'll wait for my time to answer that because we got a video on Henry Pedro Costa. He answered that question. He did. Henry Pedro Costa answered that question. Not only Americone. But what actually happened between President Barker and Yeke?
Stanton, look, Mr. Barker need to tell the Liberian people what he know. And he don't want to do it. Look, the foreign affairs minister know what's going on. These people know what's going on. Stanton, look, Mr. Barker can be the greatest dictator. He can do nothing to me. Look at him talking. And things that never happened before happening today. They may were already in a grave. We brought him back to left. We brought him back to left. I will post some picture on my page. I hear myself talk. He was finished. We brought him back to be human being. He can make me scared. You better arrest me. Because Sunday, I will hate you. Politically, I will hate you, Mr. Barker. You think you ain't me? You think you can silence me in the country? You waste your time. I'm not one of those. Because I do not label you. I want to sustain myself. My wife had agreed that I stay here. All the messages are saying to her, she said, don't leave. You brought the problem on the Liberian point. You one of those. I told you, Mr. Barker is not a good man. I know how he treated my father. Don't vote for him. You voted for him. You will remain there. You and the Liberian point will suffer it. And I will be here with the children. We will be good. Mr. Barker, you are embarrassment and you're a strong dictator. You can do nothing to me. You better tell the Liberian point the arrangement between you and Dumuya. Why Dumuya get you no pickups? You better tell the Liberian point and start joking with yourself. Who abused the trust of this country? You told us to protect the country. I told us to protect the Constitution. Have you declared war? Why you still get a Guinea ambassador here? Why have you not drove him out of the country? Take him out. Oh, you don't want to go declare war? You said Liberia and Guinea are war? Then you talking about they were arrested, man. Look at you talking to the door, baby.
Let me hold you there and bring it down to Josh, and we'll bring in Winfred Bangura. Guys, again, listen, like I said, to each his own. Our comment will be our comment. We're going to be very straight up. It's a sad day in our country, Emmanuel George. I will say this. I never expected this from Joseph Yeman Barker, the president of the Republic of Liberia. I expected President Barker to make peace to the end, because that's exactly what he ran on. I expected President Barker to be that grandfather, that grand uncle, that father, that uncle, traditionally and not traditionally. I expected President Barker to talk about healing and protecting the nation. There's a lot of reasons people voted for this president. But to come around and say you will remove a certain speaker because you want your own regime speaker. To come around and say, well, we will grab those hooligans that they can back me. They will be going to court every day. To come around and say, yeah, we will remove Yeke because of words that meant to be news. To come around and say, we'll jail Prophet Key because Prophet Key caused you, we are man and power, caused you, we are wet. And he was happy to celebrate with Prophet Key. When this Yeke said, yo, muya, ball, that black guy said that, muya. When this Yeke was dancing around and saying, this one is to bury George Banner, we are in Lofa, President Barker and Bernard here were just laughing in the back. Now the Barker today, the president of the Republic of Liberia today, giving the final instruction, like our sources said, remove him. Remove him. It's a sad time in our country. We should be talking about unifying our country. Coming together, man. Come on. This is not about Tomo Falah. This is not about Tomo Falah. I beg you, Emmanuel George, allow me my 2 seconds. Let me put these names up. Hey, Emmanuel George, look at the list. Somebody said, Fubi, let me remind you, my friend, don't do that to us, Fubi. DJ Blue is Bernard Blue. His name is here. He's not carrying DJ Blue. He called Kevin Bernard Benson Blue. I believe that's his name. He's there. Somebody signed for him. He said he didn't sign. Ted Wangbe was signed for. Ted Wangbe said he didn't sign. Albert Jones, somebody signed for him. Who doing this nonsense to the country? Who actually doing this to the country? Who impersonating? They did it to Fonati Kofa. The people celebrate that they are doing it to Yeke Koluba. Who's next? How can we forget? Why should we forget? Emmanuel George, my friend, talk to us. Talk to us, brother. Talk to us, Emmanuel George.
Stand up. Look, I heard all the people who are student of international relations. Me, I'm student of nothing, but some of the aspect I studied them small. We had a fucking crisis. We had a Bakassi crisis. People in England spoke against it. They were not lawmakers. They were not charged with treason. I lived in Nigeria for many years, racing through the ranks in academics. I know how many research we have done on Bakassi. Nobody was charged with treason. The Liberian government up to this time have not taken the Guinean government. There is no document to show the Liberian government have filed at the International Court of Justice, saying that a territory of them was claimed. The Honorable Yeke Koluba said from his research. When I was doing my master's thesis, I had the opportunity of going to the American embassy in Liberia to study, to ask a critical question. Nobody was angry with me when we were having that conversation. In fact, the political officer opened his desk, brought up ammunitions to show me what happened, giving me clarity on issues. Anybody who has traveled through the length and breadth of Liberia have gone through different borders, like I have done in Liberia. In Grand Jide, when you go to the what the district name where Nancy Do is from, you can walk into Cote d'Ivoire, you won't know you're in Cote d'Ivoire. So when Yeke says that his research shows, I'm trying to understand why couldn't someone give a counter research or call Yeke to a conference for a conversation? Look, the painful part of it is the amount of money we are spending. We're going to move Yeke alone, we are going to spend between $6 to $8 million. A poor country, an extremely poor country, we are spending between $6 to $8 million to remove one lawmaker. Because when you remove Yeke, we're going to have elections in that district. And I'm from district number 10. Maybe I'll be running in that district because I'm a district 2. To remove one lawmaker, that's how much. What sense is in it? What is sense in this thing? But let me conclude with this. I'm not angry with the people who did this. I'm angry with members of the opposition who put their signature on this paper. CDC, Somo Moba, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Dan, Acid Bani, P. Mark Jerry, Austin. These are members of the CDC who should have made this thing not to happen. And I'm investigating my own party too right now. I'm going through these documents and reading them and seeing where everyone is coming from. Every opposition political party that opposes this, we should start by expelling these members of our party who are bringing poverty to the Liberian people. And coming 2029, if you think the House of Legislature is where you put money in your pocket and find your life that you did not have before, you're not going to ride on the backs of the Liberian people. We should be serious. Spending $6 to $8 million in a country that have no money just to move one lawmaker. As I said last week, if the president read it, Yeke, they should have called Yeke and gave him $500,000 and said, "My man, take this small one." The whole problem will be solved. We won't spend the excess money we are spending. But to move one person because you're not happy, and I learned some of you saying the president not involved. The president involved. The president of the Republic of Liberia, in my opinion, I believe.
Again, thank you very much. Let me run quick with what I mean. Thank you. Can you don't tell us no more about Nigerian story? I beg you. I know you grew up in Nigeria, but anyway, let me bring in. Kev, let's say before we go to Bangura. I believe you're here before Bangura. Let's say before we go to Bangura. Yeah, that is guy Emmanuel. Kev, let Emmanuel Leo with the Nigerian story, man. You're Igbo man, that's fine. Let's talk about our issue here, Kev. Talk to us.
Yeah, but Stanton, and yeah, I know you said I should come before Bangura. I listened to Bangura, right? What we'll get is somebody who understand that the only way I can survive is to go with them. That's what we will get for him. That's all we'll get on the show. I will survive by attacking Yeke. I will survive by going back to the MDR, and that's what we will get for him, right? But we're going to a dangerous path in this country. The freedom of expression, the freedom of being yourself. I thought it was the pillow that we rely on in post-war. In post-war, you can attack everybody, and that's the peace that we enjoy. That Yeke will say things that you may not agree with, but to take him off his position as a lawmaker because you feel that Yeke should not speak. 2024, I spoke about decree. I said this government is running. I put it on Facebook. I called my brother Isaac Doe. Isaac Doe is here. I said this government, let's watch it. They're ruling by decree. And what we're saying here is by decree that Yeke should not speak. If Yeke are walking there today, stand on and say, I'm sorry for what I said, they will embrace him and they will let him go. So it's not about what Yeke say. It's about what Yeke is saying about this government, what they are doing. Senator, let me say this. You know.
Yeah, right quick. We gotta move.
You know, one of the things that I respect, I learned to respect you and Yeke, even though you guys were not on the same side and you stay on your position, it's a consistency of what you guys stand for. You guys stand for the better Liberia. Yes, you hate us, you attack us, and you're doing the same thing to this government. But the question is, Stanton, why does government decide to silence you guys for saying the same thing that back then they rally around you guys and preach to you guys? And last
well, the government ain't silencing me. You can't forget to go. The government ain't silencing me. The government silent Prophet Key. The government silent Costa. The government silent Mountain Cody. The government is silencing Yeke Koruba. I will never be silent. With or without a radio station, I will continue to speak.
I agree with
you. So the government have not silenced me, and the government will not silence me.
Okay? They have not, but they will not, because
they will not.
They can.
Because what? Because
they
what?
Can't. They cannot silence. They can't.
Okay.
They don't have
But let's move on. But Bangura, before I bring Jacob, let me bring you on, right? Because Jacob he texted me, he want to come after you. We got to go to the phone line, ask the Liberian people. This is about Yeke Koruba we are talking about. I don't know why Jacob want to come after you, Bangura. You got to take that. It got to be personal to you. I don't know why. And Jacob is your friend. But let's hear you, Jacob. I mean, Bangura. Let's hear you. You good? You good? We can hear you. Nande.
You want better CNC class to do.
Nelson, can you help Bangura? We're not hearing him. Don't touch your Bangura. Is Nelson there? Is he in studio? No. All right, hold on. We'll come back to you. Jacob, can we hear you? No, Bangura, wait 1 minute. Don't touch anything. We'll come back to you. Let me call Nelson. If he's not in studio, he should be there. Jacob, can we hear you?
Yes. Stanton, you know.
Am I coming across now?
Okay, you good. It's Nelson in studio.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm in studio. I listened to Kev. I thought that, you know, some of the things you said are quite pathetic, parochial, and provincial. I will take some time to deal with that later on. I don't know how you wouldn't, you know, make your comments without alluding to me. But let me go back to the topic that we are dealing with. Stanton, are we still on course with looking at the release that was written and sent by Kula Fofana? I thought that was what you put on the screen. If that is not it, then
if you want me to put it up, it's your time to speak. I will put it up. Do you want me to put it up?
Can you please put it up? Because I saw that you underline the word claim. I think claim appears to be the problematic term that you have. So territory claimed by Liberia. You can put it down. I'm reading from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, looking at the various shades of meanings of claim. Number one, to ask for something as a right. Number two, to take as the rightful owner. Number three, to assert in the face of possible contradiction. Those are the definitions. How does that usage in any way resemble, or how is that analogous, or how is it the same as what Yeke said? These are completely different things. So it's like comparing apples and pears. So you said you see the definitions of claim, and I hope that nobody will leave from here to say Kula said X, Y, and Z without knowing the meaning. That she's the lawyer. She used the right legal term to describe the situation to describe. So it has no moral equivalence to what Yeke said. What Yeke said was definitive, that this piece of land belongs to Guinea. And he said he had evidence to that. It belongs to Guinea. Under Article 76 of the Constitution, I know Dr. George said he lived in Nigeria. He was talking about Nigeria and other places. He did research. We're talking about Constitution. I'm citing a constitutional provision, Article 76. If you read Article 76, you will come to see what constitutes treason. And one of those is by ceding or giving up a territory to a foreign country. So if Yeke's comment in any way resembles that, then of course he is in trouble today because of the comments he made. And this is time for accountability in public leadership. When you have leadership, you have a role to play in the public. You must be accountable for what you say and what you do. So the good news is that we have the Constitution, we have the rule of law, we have laws that governs the state. So if you made a comment that is incendiary, inflammatory, or that violates any article of the Constitution, people must take responsibility for that. But to begin to blame the president or to begin to blame a second party to be responsible for what we say, I'll continue to repeat that is unfair. That's what I have to offer on that matter. Thank you.
So, Stanton, can I speak 1 minute?
Yes, yeah, you may, please.
Stanton, you see, when people have been controlled by their belly, we get problem in the country. When people have been controlled by their belly, we get problem in this country. I listened to my brother very well. He's trying to justify why he served as Deputy Minister for Administration and still went on in that agency. Why they let him out? Hey, bro, is this a country we suffer for to change this country? Brother, go ahead, justify why your belly must be in the wheelbarrow. You can justify as you wish.
So let me say this quickly. We'll come back to you, brother Bangura. Jacob, let me bring you in. I hate to keep you. I hate for you to be quiet. This is so important. I have to bring you in, bring Fubi and Asido. Folks, remember, you will say your own tonight. We gave you 1 hour to talk, and you will take us straight into midnight. Don't worry. You will have to say your own. You get Yeke, he will take your question. Enough is enough, folks. There should be no way. Now, Jacob, before you say, I got to squeeze this in, and I'll play the clip. The region speaker, Rachel Kuhn, asked the clerk, did you receive any citation from the Supreme Court? The clerk said no. The clerk said, I received nothing. They said, oh, but the court said the same for all, we got a document. Hey, man, how far from the Supreme Court to the Capitol building? Who would believe that other part of the story? But who signed on the document? The class is somebody that want to receive that came to apply. They made a mistake, they get the document to that person. What kind of nonsense is that? No, nonsense, of course, right? Because Chief Justice basically listening. Okay, what kind of tabata is that? The class said she didn't receive the document. Can you imagine that? So the citation that is saw on Facebook, Rachel couldn't call. Thomas Farah couldn't call because officially, James Collette, hey man, the allegation that you see was huge sum of money because you know he's the chairman for Blue Oil and Administration. It is alleged that he received huge sum of money. Jacob Debbie wanted to tell me in the message, but I got to put my signature on it to kick Yeke off to save my position. That's what Jacob Debbie saved a job for. Because the first time he talked about 200,000, the person will nail you. I called Jacob, I said, Jacob, man, how much you receive? The man, I'm scared to tell you before they kick me out of here too. Can you imagine? Our country is fini. But you know what though, Jacob? On a serious note, we are in April. How many more years a month left for President Baka? Everybody thought Madam Selu was going to be president for life. Said January 18 came. 2018. January 22nd, 2018 came. Everybody thought Madam Salif will become president for life. President Baka, no matter how long it takes, he will be former president. He will be. He must be. We pray. I pray to God every day for President Baka that God can give him long life. I do. I pray to God every day that God can give President Baka long life that he can see my great-grandchildren. Because he now hold Levi. President Baka here, you hold Levi. I get the picture. He must see Levi on a child. Levi, they're 4 years old. So that's how I want President Baka to live long, to see the goodness of Liberia. Jacob, talk to me.
No, but no. Now, true. Wicked people can live long. Anybody that wicked can live long.
Man can cry. Well, I shed tears today for Liberia, Jacob, on a serious note. I shed tears today for Liberia, Jacob. Jacob, let me just say this, right? I was on the phone speaking to people. Then I said, we owe it to the Liberian people to make the correction. You know, Jacob, it was some of us first election, major election, that we were part and parcel of. That you couldn't tell us anything because we believe that President Baka was that Joseph to deliver the children of Israel from the hands of Pharaoh. At that time, we believe it. Liberians need to hear this. That President Baka had nothing bad to do in the country, but to make sure the country is on the right path, fight against corruption, create more jobs, bring in more investors, help the people in the education. When President Baka said, no child left behind, no small children will be setting children between cars, they will be in school. They were impressed. When President Baka said, I will buy and wear Walmart slipper for $12.99, Jacob Akoni and myself went to Walmart. We took the slipper. And I get one of that slipper here. I bought it also. Though I'm not wearing it, but I bought it also. $12.99. We went to Marshall. If anybody know Marshall. And then I said, Bob, Uncle Joe, why? He said, my son, I get nothing to live for. All this thing here that yama. I can eat my chicken.
That might be that scam, man. That might be that scam.
Hold on. I felt it. I was seeing the reincarnation of Joseph during the days of Egypt. I felt it. I saw Moses when he was at the Red Sea, when everything was coming towards him, and he said, Lord, what should I do? I felt President Baka like that. When the president told me, forget Western Cluster, forget Asamita, forget B. Martin, forget this, forget that, we will change that country. I believe it. Amen. Jacob.
Yeah. Those are the real example of like broken promises. My brother Bangura used the word yesterday, broken promises. You know, yeah, his MDR and the Unity Party. You know, broken promises is the center of the Unity Party. And I think it's been a huge letdown in many respects. Because for me, certainly, the thing is that the sycophantic praising God, you know, always tend to lead the Liberian presidency down the difficult road. And, you know, and it's tragic because when we start
I beg you, Jacob. Bangura, please do not post anything up. Just leave the mouths alone, please. We don't post those comments. We're begging you. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah. So when we see for me, one the most important thing for me in a democracy is the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. Those are fundamental rights in a democracy. And without those things, you don't have a democracy. Just forget about it. Because that's the trickiest slope to dictatorship, to tyranny, to the rule of strong men and women and other rather than the rule of law. And once we start seeing things like Yekeden rights being violated because of their dissent, you know, Prophet Key, a lot of people being thrown behind bar, the former speaker Kofa being harassed, kicked to the legislature because the president of the office of the president being like that in line. The next thing that we're going to start seeing now, the next chapter is going to be the putting together of the death squad. It's always the corollary, that's the path, that's the direction of travel. Just forget it. We've seen these things many, many times. You know, when you start becoming on the presidency, which is the bullet pulpit, you know, the most powerful seat in the land, start getting nervous because of speech and start taking direct action, like violating the democratic right of people to elect their representative. The next chapter is now you gotta get ready now for the death squad to start my routine. That is the inevitable direction of travel we've seen all through history. We're not strange to that. We are students of history. We know history. We studied this country. We studied history all across the world. So for me, I would think that the president of the Republic of Liberia is an elderly statesman, and he has a huge detail of care to try to rectify that. You made a point earlier on about reconciliation. And for the past 2.5 years, I've heard the president say nothing about genuine reconciliation, reconciling the people of this country. You see the CDC, for example, and the Unity Party, they are antagonistic to each other, you know, all kinds of things, prosecution. This country is tense today. Everybody who lives in the country knows what's going on here. We are almost like something like uneasy truce between Iran and the US. And we don't want that kind of situation. And I think the office of the president need to step in, need to become more reconciliatory. Now, I didn't expect that George Weah will be more tolerant than Joe Biden in the party, given the democratic credential I think Mr. Bwaka has and years of experience. Because, Yeke was very belligerent, Bwaka was very sharp against George Weah. Nobody removed him in the legislature. Prophet Key was very sharp. He came to the country, nobody bothered him. Aaron Costa, every day he was insulting So you want to tell me John Jack carry a better democratic credential than Joe Walker? That the question we need to answer now, which is a huge surprise to many people. So I think the president, some of y'all, Stanton, you're supported the paper, you know him, you friend, he went to your house, you have that personal relationship. Let's forget about spoon talk. Some of you need to pick up the phone and call. Some of who got no relationship and will care less about relationship with our president. I have no interest in it. If I want to be nothing like bro, a Buddhist, I don't want to be walking on the street, I'm nobody. You who get the connection, you all need to do that. You need to call, pick up the phone and call. How Liberian president can can go down the dictatorial trail. I'm telling you something serious. You guys need to call the president and say, the president will make you please slow down. You know, there's a lot of tension in the country. The CDC people feel targeted. JK feel targeted. The other person, you have to call it co-father there. That have all kinds of things starting in the country. Let the president slow down. Let the president calm down. And let tread the path of reconciliation. And you saw Ellen try to do that, her very best to pay for the peace dividend. We need to develop the country. We want the country to be successful. All I want to live here in peace. We don't have to work in government, but we need to reconcile. We need to be united. All of us need to come together to build this country. And trying to set the political is not going to work. I'm telling you something serious.
And again, I will say this to you as friend and brother to you. And I know you will be offended. I don't know what I should say, but you know I'm straight up. Sometimes I want to agree with Kev, whether you're opposition. I listen. I mean it in a bad way. But I just it reached to a place, right? Let President Barger be President Barger. The people will decide. Check up. I sat with President George Manaway, I sat with Mount Ellen, I sat with Cummings, I sat with all the political leaders, and thank God for his grace and honor he had bestowed upon me. But it was something special about President George Manaway at the time. For over 5 hours, we ate, we did everything. And as a matter of fact, I paid for it, so he still owe me. As a president, we pay for all the food, right? That originally, he didn't pay for it. The food, the drink, we pay for it, so he still owe me. But to tell you the truth,
story, please. I got nothing to say, nothing to do with that other story.
Okay, yeah, but I was saying I pay for it, he still owe me. I will ask him to give my money. But on a serious note, though, Jacob, there's a big difference between President Weah and President Barker. Not the age, not the mental status, but there's a big difference, and Liberian people should know. Leadership difference. What happened today? Even if President Barger wouldn't have said what he said when he arrived at the airport, it proves that he approved this. He signed on it. He signed on it prior to his departure. What we heard from our sources, the president signed on this thing. Jacob, I spoke to a lot of people in the government. A lot of people, a lot of individuals in the government. I spoke to them. And to tell you, Jacob, they know, they're watching. We have almost 9,000 comments right now because Yeke is here and the show is why it is today, because we're speaking truth. It wasn't about Thomas Fala. It wasn't about Richard Kuhn. You know I can beat on Richard Kuhn. It was all about what President Barker wanted. It wasn't about Jeremiah Kuhn either. It was what President Barker wanted. The what Jeff One would say. The what he got. And that's what makes our country a sad country today. Do we still have people at the border? People in Guinea watching Spoon Talk right now. 3 of them have called me. We'll open the line, we'll speak from Guinea right now. Is this a new day in Liberia that you suppress freedom of expression, freedom of speech? Is this a new day in Liberia that when you talk, they will go after you and they want to destroy you that don't talk? Let's get to the political part. Can Unity Party win 2029 on what is happening when you have an opposition? Look at the border as of recent. Look at the border.
But to continue what I'm saying, that the Guinean security, yes, Spoon FM, the Guinean security, stay on our side as we speak. Today they what? Today they 10 or 11, something like that. The Guinean, since last month, they've been here. Since last month, they came to the country, to the river bank. They are stayed there. They are stayed there. Therefore, no normal activities going on here. People are scared. People are afraid that anything can happen anytime. Because a matter of fact that they come with arms in our country to the river bank, anything can happen. So no normal activities going on here. As a matter of fact, one of the companies that engage in rice production, a massive rice production here, they call it Makona River Farm and Agriculture Services, not working. But right, they're supposed to start preparing their land, start preparing her land to start planting next month. But they were denied by the security, by the Liberian security, that the environment is not conducive, the environment is not safe. So as a result of the Guinean security personnel on our soil, no normal activities going on here. The 33 towns that surrounding the river are not working. They are not doing their normal activities like farming, going on their farms and moving from here and there. Freedom is not given as we speak because of the presence of this Guinean security on our soil. So to update you guys, nothing happening here. Major, no normal activities going on here. Absolutely no normal activities. If anybody tell you that the Guineans gone back, it's not true. They are still here as we speak. No normal activities going on here. Everything remains the same as we started.
Follow Spoon and wash it. Follow Spoon and wash it. Fugi, let's hear you. Asido, let's hear you. T1 let's hear you. Then we'll go back to Yeke. Guys, there's a lot. We'll continue. We're having a full show tomorrow, by the way. We will be here on Saturday. Again, there's a funeral service for Nan George, the Liberian that passed away here in Pennsylvania. It will be in Ewing. I know a lot of people will be there, but we'll be having a full program here. I want to announce on Sunday, we'll be having a community conversation here on Spoon Talk. Jenny Watkins and Dado Albert Gipley, they're running to be president of the Liberian community in South Jersey. We'll have both of them on the show to discuss their agenda. But Fubi, now the border is still closed. Now the Guineans are still on our side. Now Yeke is expelled. Then what now? What will President Baka do now? The people, it would care the people back home.
So a few points, and I agree with Wilfred on the cooler's comment on the war claim, and also the president's comment about things will happen as long as we are alive, and he's not a member of the legislature. I said it yesterday. The president is not a member of the legislature. I will not blame the president for legislative actions. The guys that are there, they are full-grown men and women that were elected by their people, without some with the influence of the president and some without the influence of the president. And so they made decisions. I will not hold the president accountable for their decisions because they signed the resolution and that was done. So to Jacob's point about we are being more tolerant than President Bouaka, I would disagree with that. Jacob, you follow the trend of history. Kabina Janet, Justice Janet at the time, issued a dissent on the 2017 election that was challenged by Charles Bronski. As soon as we had won the election, the next thing was impeachment proceeding for Justice Janet. The Supreme Court at that time said it was Justice Nchima. She wrote the House to put a stay on that. The House of Representatives told her to stay out of their matter. So they didn't honor that stay order. And they even told us a proposed rate. They didn't honor that. And then went ahead and then impeached Justice Janet. That was not tolerance. The issue of Yeke we're talking about today, CDC went after him physically. These guys went after him with a law. CDC went for him, attacked him personally on several occasions. That's not tolerance. CDC, at some point, Yeke had to relocate a family. Yeke family were in Liberia at that time. That's not tolerance. So we can't be talking about we are even issue of stepping out together here, west side here on Broad Street. Costa was not saving Liberia. They are attacking many occasions. So let's just focus on the issue today at the House and start talking about tolerance, trying to compare the two presidents. Because we are regime was not tolerant to opposition. And they even told us that if you don't jump with deconstruct your ability to survive. So that's not tolerance. You know, but the House, like I said, the Supreme Court has a way, has a rule.
Hold on that tolerance issue. And because of them being intolerant, we remove them, right? You and I, Fubi.
And that's why I said we can forget about that. Let's focus on
we'll not forget about that, though. So if our leader that we brought to power is following the same path, don't you think it's troubling for us that supported Joseph Human Boycott?
I don't see that as the same path. I'm not blaming Joseph Boycott for record removal. I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming the members of the House. They are the one responsible. And Yeke being a seasoned lawmaker that have stayed there, he should.
That Joel removed Kabila Jane.
I said CDC. I didn't say Judge Weah.
Okay, so you blame Unity Party for Yeke removal?
The government at larger extent will take the responsibility because it's a Unity Party-led government. But I'm not putting the blame.
So that's the reason why I was squeezing though. The leader in power with our system, the president have the final say, and you know that fully.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let me say this to you, and I will say this to you. I'll go back to my question. Do you blame CDC for removing Yeke Koruba today?
I blame all those that sound the government. All those that sound make all the government.
So you blame CDC for removing Kabila Jane?
All those that sound CDC led the charge. Gray led the charge.
So you answer my question. You blame CDC for removing Kabila Jane? Yes or no?
I already said it. I said I blame the city. The government at the time will take the greater responsibility because of CDC-led government.
Correct. So the government today will take the greater responsibility for removing Yeke, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then you blame the government. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Let's bring it.
The government and not necessarily the president.
You just answered the question. If the government today
is a part of the government.
Chief Fubi.
Legislative action is also government action.
Chief Fubi, in the government, Unity Party government today, if you blame them for removing Yeke Koruba today, then I bring his own president, Boycott. He's the head of the government.
I said the government, the legislature is part of the government. So we cannot exclude the legislature from the government.
You can explain all that part of the story. You can explain all that part of the story. The head of the government, the head of the entire government, the commander-in-chief is Joseph Yuma Boycott, president. I am saying to you, if you blame Joe Weah yesterday, and you blame CDC government yesterday, I'm saying to you, you cannot blame CDC government yesterday for removing Kabila Jane and say you don't blame Joe Weah. You play that part of political story that will not hold.
Legislature, the person representing the city.
Fubi, you're too educated. You too educated, my man. You make a lot of money in Burkina Faso. Let it one, my man. I don't say I'll follow your profile. You well educated, but the other spin without hold water. The other spin without hold water because we got to go to the phone. Yes, because we have our friend and our papa G. Witsep Blamo here on the show. Welcome to the show, sir. But as the let's hear you, we'll bring in Minister Blamo, political leader Blamo, the mega all the tattoo. We'll bring it in. Isaac?
Thank you, Stanton. So you can try as much as you want to redefine what everybody knows. It's on you. When George Weah was president for 6 years, people were here. Dead bodies didn't just come from the grave. Human beings were still living. We were not Chinese. We were right here. When Brother Henry Costa was insulting, who were here? When Yeke Koliba was being Yeke Koliba, who were here? When my brother Moadi was calling him the one and only Yeke, who says it as he sees it, who were here? You can go all around the globe to want to change it. But you know what? My brother Bangura, it is very saddening and frustrating that you have brought this platform to the level of the dictionary, that we should define words in the dictionary. Apparently, you did not know that the usage of words gives the meaning, not just the dictionary. You know, when you're in K1, they say 2 + 2 = 4. When you go up, there are different ways you can solve it. I am sure you know your name is Bangura, but your name can be used in a sentence to make an act, not actually you. You bringing us to the dictionary to define what claims say. That is the crux of the discussion here, my brother. When two people, like the land, is being disputed, the words you use matter. Guinea is saying they have the land. Liberia is saying they have it. When you use clean in that, it means something different. It is not the same as own. Clean means you are asserting your right. Jacob, my brother, Bangura, your share that on you are coming to claim me. The share that on you are coming to claim me. It means if you go to the dictionary and go define, say, it means I say the unze. It is sad that your defense for the government. I'm not blaming you, my brother. You got to live. The only way you live in this country is to support the government. I understand that one. That is okay. But I'm thinking it should be out of the dictionary, brother. I'm saying this show has some of the smartest people, and the people that listen are very good as well. Kula Fofana said the land is not owned by Liberia, but Liberia is asserting its right on the land. We don't expect the president to get rid of her because, of course, the president is a dictator. What he wants is what he does. In his mind, no one questions him because he's the president. My guess here is that the president forgot that some 40 years ago, he wasn't president. Someone else was. Apparently, he doesn't know that very soon he will not be president again. I wonder if he sits and imagine what happens in the future if he's not a president. And if you indeed have come to provide defense for the president as a young man, one of the things you were telling yourself, Papa, you are putting yourself in danger in the future. When you are not president, Hail Mary help you, Papa. It might be a difficult time for you. It's not a threat. I'm only saying. If you come on this show to ask us to go to the dictionary to define what, you should as well know the meaning of the word, especially the context in which it is used. Liberia claim a land, that means Liberia is asserting authority over a land that might not belong to Liberia, according to the statement. Apparently, you didn't know that one because you have to defend the government. That's it. Just go and defend, my brother. No, that's not it. If we had a government that had 2% dictatorial signal, unfortunately, President Boakai is a complete dictator. He would have taken action against his press secretary. But oh no, that's what the president wants. Bangura, you can come here and say, oh, water sweet. Once the president says your statement, water sweet is bad, he will come after you. I can come tomorrow and say water sweet. Once the president enjoys what I said, he will let me go. That's the definition of a dictator. And that's why some of us saw this. When Edwin Snow came on the show and talked about the threat that the president issued to him. When we listened to Henry Costa and talked about the threat the president issued, we knew he was a dictator in making. And today you are forced to defend him, or else you will be investigated. But you know how you can avoid that now? Is to tell us to go to the dictionary to define claim. Simply because you want to make a point, although you know the meaning of it in a context in which it is used. The Guinean can come and say, you know what? The people that are saying they own the land, they are saying they are coming to assert right over it. Meaning it could not have been their land, but they want to claim it to be theirs. It is sad day in our country. Thank
you, Isaac.
Should be concerned with our country. We should be concerned.
Thank you. I want to say to all of you again, because we got to go to the phone line. We hear from Minister Blambo. Can you hear us, sir? Before we do our closing on this thing, I will come to you, Wilford. I will come to you 1 minute. Mr. Blambo, can you hear us? Okay, you can hear Wilford. Let's hear you. And we are going to do our closing. We'll give Yeke the last word. We'll go to the phone line. Today's topic is Unde Yeke. The country Liberia, just give it your best shot because this is your closing. On this, on the show, we're not closing the show. Yeke will go because we got to go to the phone line. So we'll do our own best closing on the Yeke team before we hear from our fellow Liberians home and abroad. Wilford Bogora, you go first. You got 2 minutes, and we'll monitor each and every 2 minutes.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you, CEO. Where's Isaac? I don't know where he's going to. He spoke and then he left. But you know, Isaac, I'm not going to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am not going to fall for your theatrics.
Hello.
You know, a lots of folks on the show. You know, apparently you expected that everybody will be so say one, so say all, or we will have concurrence on knowledge on this show tonight. But unfortunately, I beg to differ. You should be tolerant enough to.
That's not what the show for. If you ever follow us, we are not in the same tune on the show. Everybody can.
I just wanted to learn on my thought. It appears that it's a chorus.
I say it's bad. I say it's bad.
There appears to be a chorus, you know, of disparaging comments and lack of intolerance for, you know, different opposing views. Isaac, you know that I don't have to boast that, but I understand English and I understand words, their contexts, their meanings, their usages. I understand those. So to even come here and try to lecture me about words and their meanings, you know it's unfortunate. You know that. But I'm not going to fall for, like I said, your theatrics. I went to look at, I wanted you to remove your political jacket or your, comatized reasoning away from the plain text meaning. Those words used by Kula, all of them, each of them has meaning. Do not ignore their meaning. The meanings are there. So because you want to read meanings into it, you're not interested in the denotative or connotative meaning of those words. Now you have the audacity to sit on the show and think that
the people in the
I beg your pardon?
Wilfred, little Dinokone and Konakone son, be simple, but that's a simple show, my man.
Well,
go ahead.
See where you are. No, I just want to, Isaac, to know the other thing that keeps coming across. I am working. I'm working for my belly. This is very sad, Isaac. As I do not seek government job. I repeat, I do not seek a government job. Isaac, I am a customer professional. I'm an adjunct faculty at the University of Liberia. Isaac, I have skill sets. I don't have to seek a government job. So when I come and disagree with you, the only thing you will hear from you, persons like you, to say that I'm seeking job or I can survive without a government job, it's unfortunate. I want to disabuse your mind like I did to Dr. George yesterday. That when people speak for government, people espouse their political their views and beliefs about what they think, it doesn't necessarily have to mean what you think. You have the right to agree and to disagree, but you must respect people's views. It's very important. I don't have to speak like you or think like you. You can think all you want. You can think the way you want to think. Let me go back to my submission since I have 1 more minute. I will maintain that until you can prove on this panel tonight that President Boakai is responsible for what has happened to Yeke, until you can bring the proof and the evidence, I'm not going to fall for that. This show is widely listened to. It's a show that people respect. So when we come on the show to speak, and some of us, before even coming to sit on the show, I think it's an honor to even be here. We respect the show. So when we come here, we should be able to bring, bring evidence. If you make claims, be able to defend the claims. But I'm not going to follow you, Isaac, and the likes of you to point fingers when I know that I have got no evidence, unless you want to put a spin on it so that you cast aspirations and you call the president into something that he's basically got nothing to do with. And he said that in his interview that he is not a member of the legislature. How do you think the president will hold everybody's hand? The 49 people who signed, he held their hands and said, go and sign. So those people do not even have their own minds. What you're trying to do is you are insulting the intelligence of those leaders who volitionally, willingly affixed their signatures and took action that they thought was necessary to safeguard the Constitution and defend, their oath, to make sure that there is sanctity in the House, that there is accountability for public leadership, that corruption can be frowned on. You cannot repudiate them because they are not thinking like you. It's unfair. This is a democratic society. People have got the right to lead in the way they think is necessary. Now, if you want to take glory and give a pat to Yeke on his back for all of the incendiary and inflammatory comments he has been making, and speaking in his position as a lawmaker, which is clearly unbecoming of his office. You want us to clap for him? Is that the kind of society you want us to lead? Is that the kind of leadership you think you can bring to the country that will make Liberia a better country? You must be strong. You must be courageous enough to point out contradictions. When leaders do wrong, you must have the courage to say this is wrong. But when other people disagree, then you say, oh, they're looking for jobs. It's insulting.
Thank you.
I think we should do better than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bumba. Listen, thank you for appreciate it. Thank you. No, we'll come to you. Let everybody speak. I beg you, Chief. Everybody down. Bagura, thank you very much for even joining this phone. It's good to have you. Everybody come here with their own mindset and discuss the issue. We do not always agree, and that's the reason why the Liberian people follow us. Say your own, I say my own, and we'll move on. That's what Richard said. A lot have been said today, but it's troubling for our country. As we go to the phone line, people want to call in. It's 11 o'clock right now in Liberia, 7 p.m. here. That's what Richard said. We have come to a crossroad, man. The put politics aside. What's your closing on this year, to be continued tomorrow? But for today, what's your closing on this year?
Thank you, Stanton. I want to start off by just saying I think there's a reason why you played that tape regarding the border. We don't hear any news about the border, about what's going on between Liberia and Sierra Leone. That's a question that we should really be asking. So there's a reason why you played it. I want to say wholeheartedly, I agree with Dr. George on this show that all of those who sign the papers and are in opposition should be called by the party and should be spoken to. They should be either expelled or either suspended from the party. Emphatically, I want to agree on that. Number two, when you come on this show, and I agree with you, Mr. Bangura, when you come on this show, you should speak facts, okay? You should be evidence-based. You don't come and say that CMC has broken promise and you don't have facts to prove that. You tell me that you have 2 phone calls that came in. Okay? So when you come on this show, bring something, show something to Center Hill, put it up. Secondly, I want to say in the past couple of days, people have been talking a lot of negative things about political parties. Political parties are like any other organization in Liberia. There's pros and there are cons. But there are some good things about political institutions and political party. One of the things I know that it does, it teaches you leadership skills. It teaches you how to speak when necessary and when not to speak. It is also good for democracy. And as Liberia evolve, we will learn, we'll get to a place where, we'll be able to utilize political parties correctly. But before we even get to that, if I can speak to Liberians in my closing, I want to say that you Liberians do things because you are convicted to doing it. Don't do it because you are belly driven. Don't do it because your name was involved in an indictment or your name was involved in a corruption scheme and you want to find a way to save yourself and you think that I will side with a political party in order to save myself. Don't do it. Do it because you can beat your chest and stick to whatever you believe in. And that's what I have to say. That's one of the ways that our political party and our democracy will evolve if we don't sell ourselves for rice T-shirt or joining a political party because of freedom and come on public radio and spew lies. Thank you.
Emmanuel George, and while you put on this issue, let me wish your beautiful wife. By the way, your wife looks like Wade Power. But seriously, want to say this. I thought you were holding on to Wade Power. Please be very clear. This is not Wade Power. I beg you. I don't want to get you in trouble with your wife. That's her birthday today, I believe. We wish her all the best. While we just what?
That my cousin-in-law, that Francis, are not Wade.
I'm saying his wife looked like Wade Power. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Wade Power. The man got to explain that. He get a microphone.
Is that Dr. George?
That Dr. George. That Dr. George wife.
I never see the best standing. I never see the best standing before. But whether I see the best standing,
I don't know whether the woman, I hope I'm making a mistake. Or I hope not Wade twins. So, my man, the woman look like Wade Power. Seriously speaking. You gotta play the air.
No, man, you don't look like Wade, man.
Happy anniversary.
We gotta go.
Man, you look like Wade, man. My friend Wade.
My man, but Cap, I beg you, Emmanuel George, that the woman breath declare the air. You're not making a mistake yet. Because the other day, we saw you with Ellen Johnson way in Pennsylvania. Today, we see you with a woman and look like Wade Power. I mean, what's going on here? Yeah, you were with Ellen J. Johnson, the girl from Pennsylvania today. You were the woman. Which is which? I mean, happy birthday to your beautiful wife, my sister, though. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Stanton. So, and thank you for sharing that, Stanton. I appreciate it. And thank you for your comments. I know she will not appreciate it, but we'll work our way around. But the great thing about education within the system of the university.
Send a shout out to her, man. Quickly, we got to.
I did say you were talking, so you didn't hear me. I said happy birthday to Francis. May she have a wonderful and beautiful birthday.
No, but you didn't. You say it quietly, like you kind of
like had it. Birthday started beautiful and wonderful. They were part today.
Okay.
School district was exciting with she and her colleagues, but yeah. A happy birthday to you. Have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the.
Wait until you guys, you're not home. You're not to the hospital. Are you somewhere else? Are you somewhere else? You're not with the woman.
So, Stan, let me answer the question.
I mean, don't answer that question, man. Move on, man. You answer too.
Excuse us, man. I know there's a thing to say. Yeah, excuse us, man. That the woman brought to my man. Are you out of the house? Are you in Pennsylvania?
Don't answer that question.
Pennsylvania. We are both traveling contractors.
Let me put Ellen Johnson picture up and see which is which. Go ahead. Well, upload Ellen Johnson picture.
Stop it, we told you.
Emmanuel, continue with your discussion.
So, in the apology, Plato quoted a very wonderful message from Socrates, and he says, "My plainness of speech makes them hate, and what is their hatred but a proof that I am speaking the truth." I see we trying to illustrate and post some kind of flimsy picture on treason, and try to argue with Article 7 of the Liberian Constitution. But the Constitution 76A is clear, and it defines treason. Just in case we have not put it into our made ourselves knowledgeable for that. 5 definitions, fully plain sentence. It doesn't need any academic exercise to understand what is stated here. 1, levying war against the Republic of Liberia. Yeke says from his research, the territory is for Guinea. He did not levy war on the Republic of Liberia. Aligning oneself with or aiding and abetting another nation or people with whom Liberia is at war or in a state of war. As far as my knowledge, the Liberian government have not declared war on Guinea. When our police director went to the border, he didn't even interact with the Guinean forces. Our armed forces have not been deployed to the border. So we are not in a state of war. We keep talking. In fact, our public utterance is incursion into our territory. 3, acts of espionage for an enemy state. Yeke pronunciation was public, and there is no act of espionage because he has never been invited by the NSA for an investigation. 4, attempting by overt act through the government, including rebellion, insurrection, or mutiny. Yeke is not involved in that. And finally, abrogating and attempting to abrogate, subverting, or attempting to or conspiring to subvert the Constitution by the use of force, show of force, or any other means that attempt to undermine the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia.
Well said. You got an A in my class.
Our Constitution is clear. You don't need a lot of dictionary to read this particular Constitution. So, the Guineans have been on the border for 3 months. On this show, we're calling and people say, oh, you don't love Liberia. But somebody wake up in the morning and believe they love Liberia more than every one of us. So Yeke is the point of attack. And you want to tell me the president is not involved? Who called? Who called? Who recalled the legislature? People are arguing when I'm talking about $6 to $8 million to remove Yeke. Let me tell you, the record of the legislature is going to cost the Liberian government about $6 million. To have a by-election in Yeke district is going to cost between $1 and $2 million. So it's the president of the Republic of Liberia that recall Yeke. And the agenda of the recall have to be discussed with the legislature and the executive. And when that agenda was shared, Yeke name appeared on that agenda twice as an agenda item. One, a letter by a gentleman called Somo Moba, and another letter from the Inspector General of Police. So you people don't come on this show and start behaving like we don't research and think before we open our mouth to talk. We spend our time analyzing and thinking these issues. So the president did recall the legislature, and Yeke name was there twice. And that's why I believe the president knows about the situation. Finally, my fellow Liberians, we don't have to like Yeke Koluba. We don't have to like his utterances, but we have to love Liberia. And freedom of speech is something that every one of us have fought for over the years. Those of us who were incarcerated and beaten by former President Samuel K. Doe, waking up 3 o'clock in the morning and beating every day while we're incarcerated. We fought because at that time, because of the freedom of speech that we want to enjoy in our country. Yeke did no harm to Liberia. And added to that, the evidence that they said they had, no one up to today have given Honorable Yeke Koluba a single evidence. You say you should go to Spoon, but you also said the people were rejoicing in Guinea. Where's the video of this, the dancing and the rejoicing in Guinea? Today is Yeke. Yesterday, it was Fonanti Kopa. Day before yesterday, it was Kambina Jene. Today is Yeke. At what point will we decide that we must stop?
Thank you very much. I want to say, Yeke, we gave you the last word. We got to go to the full line. It's very important. And we'll come back on the other side to hear from Jacob Jala and the rest of the guys. Yeke, you've heard everything. You went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court put a stay order. Your colleagues at the House of Representatives say they don't have it. They didn't receive it. Your lawyer arguing today that yes, indeed, what is happening through Kabina Jane is totally outrageous. It is unlawful, it is unconstitutional. And I know you're going to follow the court process. They are calling you former lawmaker. Either or, Yeke. Do you think the government will allow you to contest again for that seat? Do you think the government will move ahead? We are receiving information that you'll be arrested, you should flee, you should run, that people will come to arrest you. Yeke, what's your game plan here? If you care to tell us, you don't have to tell us for security reasons. Yeah.
I'm going to remain with my people here. I'm not going to leave the country like people asking me to do. I'm not going to leave from here. I got no intention of leaving from here. Stanton, we're going to follow the court process. People say the court do not have authority. Then why do they have the court? Why people carry cases to the court? Look, any issue that got to do with constitutional matter, the House of Representatives, that's what they get involved with it. Why Mr. Bwaka told Rachel Kuhn to not respect the court? They called in their morning. Mr. Bwaka called into the mansion in the morning. Look, now I don't have any issue with Tomo Fala. Tomo Fala is not my problem. He and myself, we are not in confusion in any way. My issue is Mr. Bwaka thinking. Mr. Bwaka think within himself that nobody should talk. Who is Mr. Bwaka to tell people not to talk? Mr. Bwaka. Mr. Bwaka, you are nobody when it comes to people's freedom of speech. You are nobody. Let me say this to you. Stay on. I think we need to take call from the people. The Supreme Court, the justice.
Yeah, but before we do that, you got to answer my question. I got a list of questions for you, right? You are not leaving the country. Do you know that your colleague have asked Oswald Twelve, the Justice Minister, to carry on any legal proceeding, even though, I mean, we cannot put finger on this, but they will be arresting you and charging you with treason? Are you aware?
So I'm aware that Mr. Bwaka has said to the people that she arrest me, but I challenge Mr. Bwaka to go further and tell the people to enforce it.
Do you know that you do not have the protection like before? They said they have stripped you of your right as lawmaker, so you do not have that protection like before?
The justice in Chimo have said we should put stop to all proceeding until we can go there on Monday. I still remain representative of district number 10 until we can go to the court on Monday.
Will you challenge the fact that 3 of the 49 lawmakers said they didn't sign Ty One-Way, Albert Jones, and that of DJ Blue that they didn't sign, and the roll call today saying that they have 49 votes to remove you?
We had a lot of errors in the process, and that my lawyers will take advantage of what we give them to go up to the justice in Chimo.
So through this process, Yeke, do you still believe that the land belonged to the Guinean?
I did not say the land belonged to the Guinean. I said Guinea fee within itself and the land for them. So they are coming for the land. I said that Guinea fee within themselves and the land for them. I don't know why English is very hard for Mr. Bwaka.